Welcome to another edition of Tone's Tinkle Time. That's right, we're reformatting the show. It's just him pissing for an hour and a half. Pretty bold decision, I know, but I think it's going to be a hit. I think people are going to love it. That's how my mind works, is racing. Got all sorts of ideas, him pissing all the time. It's win-win. Welcome to another edition of Banter and Babble. I am TheDude79, and joining me always, my esteemed colleague, Mr. Fanboytone. Mr. Fanboytone, good evening, sir.
Hi.
How you doing today, buddy?
I'm fucking tired. It's been a long week.
Oh, here we go. Wah, retail. Just joking. Retail sucks.
Yeah.
I hate this job.
Yeah.
Pretty booty.
Hey, everybody.
But hello. Welcome. It's another episode of Banter and Babble. Got a lot of good stuff to talk about tonight.
Sure
it's
do.
also a pretty cool day. St. Patty's Day. You remember when there wasn't a pandemic and we just go out and get shit-faced tonight?
R.I.P. Bennigan's.
Man, don't get me started on Bennigan.
Just saying.
Bennigan. Okay, let's. All right. Right now, chat. I need you to put in order between Bennigan's, Applebee's, and Chili's.
Bennigan's.
Right now. Keep in mind, Bennigan's is dead because their food sucks.
No, it's still one in Mount Pleasant.
But put up. That one doesn't count, dude.
Shut up.
Rank it right now, chat. Rank it right now. Bennigan's, Applebee's, or Chili's. I want to see how many of you have really shitty taste. Let's see. Chronos sucks.
And while you're doing that, I do want to say thank you for those bits and subs.
Thank you guys so
we
much.
appreciate you. We heart you.
Yes, it's Boots. What's going on? Benny's. Well, a lot of Benny's. Wow, really?
Yeah, come on, man. It's not a microwave restaurant. It's an Irish pub. That's what you're eating at when you go to Bennigan's.
I didn't feel like I was at an Irish pub. I felt like I was at a knockoff.
You were
Applebee's.
shit-faced. You didn't realize what you were doing anyways.
Thank you. Seven Dungeons has great taste in restaurants.
He's controversial sometimes, so let's back it up a little
Crash,
bit.
I can deal. Crash knows what the hell he's talking about. Cuddles is clearly drunk.
A lot of Applebee's
so is
sucks and blows.
I understand half-ass beer.
Well,
reviews
Applebee's
drunk.
is definitely not sponsoring the show this evening, everybody. So
Right. Just lost that sponsorship.
But the
But hey,
Mount
if you get a
Pleasant
burger right
Bennigan's-
now, you get 5 boneless wings for $1.
Where Applebee's?
Yeah, I was gonna have the Applebee logo fly up here, but
Nobody
they
cares.
already called it off.
Nobody cares.
Chili's is good. I like Chili's.
Chili's is good. No, I actually really like Chili's. Their
Chili's and
Chipotle
Applebee's
Crispers.
Bill Knapp's was the best. You know, it's really hard to argue with
R.I.P.
that.
Bill Knapp's.
Yeah, it's really hard to argue with that.
Or Kenny Rogers Roasters.
Rogers Roasters. Oh,
Good
Freezy.
stuff.
Freezy says Chili's, Bennigan's, and Applebee's. But you know what? I'll do one better. 99 Cafe, Applebee's.
I'd rather have
Chili's,
it burn them all day.
Bennigan's.
Yeah,
That's
I'd rather
right.
have it burn them.
Next month, I believe. Freezy, I think you can confirm this. Next month is the scheduled start opening for 99 Cafe. Everyone's really excited for that. I'm really excited for it because I can finally just drive there and get something for
2
fucking
minutes.
lunch. I literally just want to burn them every day.
I want to burn them every day too.
I'm tired of ordering from everywhere else. I really need the 99 Cafe to open up ASAP because I want to burn them, baby. My name used to be Bill Knapp. Got sued. That sucks, Knapp.
Sorry to hear that, dude.
That's really terrible.
Bill Knapp got
Lots
it.
more. Guys, seriously, thank you guys so much for the bits. Freezy says fingers are crossed. Josh, the Burnham is... Just go on to Facebook and search out 99 Cafe. I think it's... Or is it still Pharmacy, Rob? Or is it 99 Cafe now on Facebook? Did you guys change it? Either or. Look those up, Josh, and then find the Burnham. It is exquisite. It is so choice. If I go to 99 Cafe,
good,
I'm getting the fucking Burnham. That's just what you do.
that's what you do.
Don't get me wrong. Lots of good sandwiches on there.
There's great sandwiches there.
Salads, all this jazz, all this stuff is good. The Burnham, I'd make love to that sandwich if it wasn't frowned upon.
It's all fresh produce and fresh everything, meats, you name it, from Michigan locally. So
guys, thank you so much.
Thank you for
These
all the bits.
You guys
and
are
everybody,
crazy,
guys.
and
Thank you.
I love you guys very much. Thank you so much.
The subs and everything, y'all.
Seriously,
We
appreciate
appreciate
all of
you.
So, first order of business we want to discuss
Is that it's St. Patty's Day?
It is St. Patty's Day. But first, before we even get to what we're drinking,
Okay, all right. I'm excited now. What are we talking about?
B&B is expanding.
Oh, we have expanded a little bit.
We're
haven't we?
expanding by one, just about. Well, I mean, we've got a couple mods, but Cuddles, King Cuddles in the chat. You guys, oh my lords, the bits. You guys are sweet. Seriously.
Thank you, just
all the hearts and shit,
appreciate
that's
y'all.
got me going. But King Cuddles,
Geekly.
he is mod number 1. He's the mod that's our mod. He's our guy. he will be taking on the new role of booth guy, and not that type of booth guy.
Well, we don't know.
I mean, we don't know.
We don't know. So hold up.
It could be.
Hold up.
But King Cuddles is going to be our new booth guy.
Mm-hmm.
And what the booth guy does is he keeps an eye on the chat. He keeps an eye on the conversations. He fact checks us when we need it. If there's something that we can't figure out, we can't remember because we're old, he hops off, looks it up, comes back, gives us the information, so we appreciate that. But now, because we do have a couple of call-ins tonight, some folks want to talk about some of the movies we're going to talk about, Cuddles will be acting as kind of like the green room, or as we like to call it, Cuddles casting couch. That's where he's going to be at to meet the callers who are calling in and kind of get them prepped for the conversation and then bring them on. So Cuddles is going to be very busy, and there is going to be times where Cuddles might actually jump into the conversation.
He might have something to say.
So, like I said, it's a very cool thing that we're going to be experiencing. Oh, booth guy steps in when Tone pees. I like that idea. Have some music play, maybe bring Cuddles in and make funny. We can talk about Dude Cuddles 2021.
It's an insurrection. I have a problem with this entire scenario. That's all I'm saying. This is bullshit.
It is shady business, but that's just how we operate.
Well, that is.
But King Cuddles, honestly, man, we appreciate you. Cuddles works really, really hard. He's an awesome mod. He does great in the chat. He keeps everyone entertained. He welcomes people, and he's, like I said, he's always he's got ideas, and he's a huge part of what we're trying to do here. And so he'll be a little bit more involved here and there. So we're really looking forward to. Tone has to PR. He does. You can already tell he's already twitching.
Oh, I keep telling him to get me a puppy pad or let me use the sun pump. So until one of those options come up,
sun pump, bro. No way, no
come
way, no
on.
how. But all right, on to next business. Obviously, today is St. Patrick's Day.
Mm-hmm.
So let's set the mood.
We set the mood.
We're gonna set the mood. It's St. Patrick's Day. Look, there's green beer. There's our boy. I mean,
give me gold, me lad.
Give me gold, me lad. So we watched Leprechaun today because we were just like, dude, why not? We should probably watch Leprechaun.
It was really last minute and random too.
It was very random, but very much wealth of viewing. It was really really good.
Amazing.
That movie is interesting. It's a cult. It has a cult following, and it's a very niche cult following because there's a lot of people. Even though it's good, and I enjoy it for what it is. There's a lot of people that just really think it's trash, and I can understand that perspective. And what's interesting, you guys. We can't see under the table. Let it rip.
Well,
oh, my Atlanta. But no, so we watched that. But yeah, it's St. Patty's Day. And like I said, man, if it wasn't the pandemic right now, we didn't have this pandemic going on, I don't even know if we'd be doing a show right now. Honestly, I used to love. Yes, it is. It's Jennifer Aniston's first movie. It's her first movie she was ever in. It was like her first big breakout role. And Warwick Davis credits the success of the movie to Jennifer Aniston.
Does he really?
Oh, he does it all. I think he does it in jest.
Okay.
But he's just like, every time, she's the reason. Because once Friends came out, people were looking up Jennifer Aniston like, what the fuck? She was in this movie called Leprechaun. And so that generated a lot of interest in the movie a couple years after it released. So kind of an interesting story. But yeah, it's got him and it's got Mark Holton, who was Francis in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
You can't have the bike, Francis.
But I mean, it's Warwick Davis, obviously, iconic character, actor. Yeah. Everyone loves Warwick Davis.
Christ, he was like was he like 18 or 19 when he was in Star Wars? Actually, honestly, when he was Wicked or whatever.
Yeah. There's been a lot. There was a lot of sequels.
Lep in the Hood is up to no good.
Yeah, there was Leprechaun in the Hood, and then there was Leprechaun Returns to the Hood. He went back to the Hood twice.
Did he?
Ice-T was in the first one.
He was in the first one.
He was in the first one. I don't think Ice-T was in the second one though. Ice-T's very selective with his scripts. He was like, I'm not doing Leprechaun in the Hood too.
Okay.
Said no way, no how.
Fair enough.
But Tone,
yes.
Obviously we try. This is the problem with Saginaw. When we try to find cool beers, we're like, I told her, the other day I was like, hey man, we should probably get some Irish themed beers. Right. We should finally get something good. And what did we get, Tone?
We got Guinness. Which, to be fair, I did want like an Irish red or something like that. And had we had the foresight when we went to Horcruxes a couple weeks back, I would have gotten something thought about for Patty's Day or whatever. But unfortunately, sometimes the selection around here is limited.
Shit.
And at the end of the day, though, to be honest with you, I never thought about. It's not a microbrew, but I do love Guinness. I love extra stouts. I love a pint of Guinness, anyways. I've actually never had the drought stout because once microbrews kicked in the last decade, like I don't typically gravitate towards more like name brand beers often. So I grabbed it. It's nitro. It's actually very light and it's good. It's
Yeah, this is the Guinness drought
it's good.
stout.
It's Guinness. Guinness is Guinness is not buying like a Bud Light or Miller Lite, So Guinness is still it's still a good beer. So
it's good. It goes down good. Like you said, it's light. It tastes good. So can you go wrong with Guinness? No, I think you could do a lot worse.
You can do a lot worse than Guinness, honestly.
Oh man, jeez, look at Egyptian. Guinness is a bottle is shite compared to I think that's the case.
Oh
with
yeah,
everything, right?
absolutely. If we could get beer on tap down here, that would be next level.
Ooh, hey man, if I get my Biden bucks,
car bombs. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, get us a little tap.
Biden bucks, just get a little tap over there.
Yeah.
Hook up 2 kegs, get a Guinness and a Miller Lite. Oh yeah, dude.
Get a kegerator.
You want a Miller Lite? You get a Miller Lite? No, we'll get a natural light, a natty ice.
What's the difference?
Not much.
Yeah, no. Not at all.
Not a whole lot. What the fuck did you say about Miller Lite? Hey, Cuddles, easy. Yep, Egypti's moving in. Come on in. Biden bucks equals kegerator. I mean, it seems like the smart buy. It seems like what everyone would buy with responsibly and get the economy going. Buy a kegerator.
That's what I'm saying.
Can't go wrong with it. But no, yeah, this is tasty. It's good stuff. I'm digging it. Before we get on to our first topic, Tone, what have you been playing?
Same old. Honestly, I haven't been playing a whole lot. I just Bravely Default 2 mostly, and I told you the other day, the more I play Control, the more I get into
There's
the game.
There's an update coming out on the PS5 version to help with the crushed blacks. Apparently, like some of the dark areas in the game are very dark. It's crushed almost.
Yeah, I can kind of see what they're saying.
So there's supposed to be an update coming out on tomorrow that's supposed to alleviate that.
It's a very, I know it's about a year and a half, 2 years old. It's a very good game. It's a very well made game. It was time for me to play a game like that. I've been playing a lot of other stuff, and I like to I don't want to play like back-to-back games. Like I wouldn't want to play like Tomb Raider right after Control or something like that. I feel like that'd be too much. I've done that before and it burns me out on those kind of games. So it was nice after playing Cyberpunk to kind of jump into something like this and then mix it up with Bravely Default. So that's really about it. I'm not really playing a whole lot. I'm looking forward to Returnal down the road and maybe checking out that Outriders. We'll talk about that later, but
yeah, that's gonna be a topic.
Not a whole lot I'm just kind of cruising right now in gaming.
Dude, I was really big into that JRPG rotation of Yakuza Like a Dragon and Bravely Default 2. And then last weekend, I came across a tweet from IGN saying, hey, we're reviewing Dead by Daylight after all these years. And I was like, oh, I wonder what this is at. Because I did not like Dead by Daylight when it first came out. I didn't get into it. It was like, whatever. And they gave it like a 9. And I'm like, what? Like, get out of here. So I downloaded it. I was like, I'm going to take a look at what this is all about.
Right.
And I forgot that I had bought the Michael Myers expansion like years ago. It was on sale. I was like, well, if I ever get into this game, I'm going to want to play as Michael Myers. That's my boy.
Boring.
And downloaded the game, dude. I put a shit ton of time into Dead by Daylight last night, or this past weekend. A shitload of time. I am just grinding out Michael Myers, trying to get him to level 25, unlocking all the perks. And you guys, that game's really fun. I know there's some people in the chat. I think Cuddles wasn't a big fan of it. I believe Pikachu wasn't a fan of it either. It's got, it's detractors and whatnot, but I've had a lot of fun playing this game. I streamed it on Monday night. You were in there for a little bit. I mean, it's fun. And what I like about it is there's some strategy to each of the killers. There's different ways to play them. Like, at first I was like, well, I'm going to be Michael Myers. I'm just going to be a serial killer running around stabbing people. But it takes a lot of the essence of Michael Myers stalking and stealthy approaches.
Boring, right?
Tension building is what I like to call it. Not boring, tension building.
Hey.
And it's boring as fuck. There you go. Cuddles knows. Cuddles knows.
He knows.
But no, I've had a really good time with it. I've had a lot of fun. I felt like it was a good time on Monday night. It seemed like everyone was having a good time watching me play it. Everyone was talking about it. But
honestly, like I watch a lot of people stream that. It's enjoyable. Dead by Daylight, and she's right. There's a lot of people that do play that right now.
Yep.
I don't think it's anything that people don't stop playing. I think maybe it goes in waves, but people do consistently play this game. It is a fun game to watch.
Yeah,
I really find it, like, even if you're playing boring Michael Myers, it's a little bit fun still, at least. But it's enjoyable, honestly.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun playing that game. Now, the thing that I want to do more of is, like, obviously playing as the killer, you're just playing by yourself, so that's cool, and you can play it how you want to play it. But I really want to try to get in there with 4 people as the survivors, because at first it seems like maybe the killers are overpowering, which they should be. They're iconic serial killers.
Right.
But at the same time, if you're on there with a team that communicates and you're working on these generators and you're doing things to distract the killer or pull them off of the generator so other people can fix it, there is some strategy to that game. And I was in a couple of matches where, we got wiped out pretty quick, but there were other ones where people were using emotes saying, hey, go this way, go that way, do this, do that. And there was a lot of communication a couple times. I was like, man, this is actually pretty fun like this, because if you play the game like Spies and Mercs. The killer's in first person, the survivors are all in third person. So there's different ways to play it. You can be more stealthy as a survivor. There's certain tactics you can use to avoid being noticed or found by the killer. But I've had a lot of fun with that game, like surprisingly a lot of fun.
And honestly, you've done really well. I mean, I agree with you. I think what you need is people that, you need people in there to play with you, because I mean, you're doing really well, but I mean, against AI bots, it doesn't really matter. So
here we go. There is no AI bots. I'm just really an awesome Michael Myers. I don't have anything against Dead by Daylight as a game, but Ashley and I's ex-roommate used to play that game so much, I don't think I could ever play it again. And I could totally see it, wearing out after a while. But the thing that I do like about it is each character, whether it's a survivor or a killer, has 25 levels to it with all different perks you can unlock. Yeah, there's a grind there. Mm-hmm. And if the gameplay loop works, and if I'm having fun as Michael Myers, I want to play as like Leatherface next, or Freddy Krueger, or Pyramid Head, or if I want to switch over to the survivor side and play as Ash,
Ashy Slashy.
There's a lot of like appeal there, and I don't mind grinding stuff up. Plus, it's kind of a competitive game, so I like that element of it. So it's kind of a win-win. I dig it. It's Mark Roback. Dead by Daylight didn't click with me until I bought Ash. See, there you go. All you gotta do is find one thing. And I didn't like it when I first played it, but then when I see Michael Myers was in there and I played it and I get to play as Michael Myers and kind of think like he thinks, I was like, okay, this is kind of appealing. This is really kind of fun. So it definitely has some value to it. I think it was a Plus game a long time ago.
That's how I got it. It was a free Plus game a few years back.
And it's available now on Game Pass on Xbox, and it's cross-play. So if anyone wants to play it, if you got it on Game Pass,
there you go.
There's Pikachu. I knew she was going to shout, I hate Dead by Daylight. Great, Pikachu.
It's a really good impersonation.
I know. It sounded just like her.
That's really good.
It sounded just
impressed,
like her.
actually.
I love Pikachu.
He's been working
Pikachu,
on that.
What's up, girl? You should probably play Dead by Daylight with me, though. We'll play as survivors, and we'll have fun.
Boring.
Can't play horror games. Phasmo scared the shit out of me. Yeah. The sounds of generators breaking and people screaming will haunt me in my dreams. That's one thing I noticed. When you hook a survivor, some of the women in that game, they have this blood-curdling scream. The guys just sound like, ah! But the girls, they hit that Jamie Lee Curtis peak scream where you're just like, that's fucking effective. Like, you're like, that was creepy. There are some crossplay with PC also. Yes, Cap, it's crossplay everywhere. So that's really cool. The Stranger Levels thing is dope. I didn't buy the Stranger Things pack yet, but I do want to get that. It comes with Nancy
fun
Wheeler
to watch.
And Steve Harrington, and then you got the Demogorgon as the killer. So that's pretty rad. Stacey, happy St. Patrick's Day to you as well. Thank you so much for those bits. We appreciate it. All right. Before we get to the first topic, giveaway time.
Oh,
we are doing another giveaway because y'all are fucking awesome.
Because of them stimmies.
Love giving back. Where'd it go? It's not even in here now. Damn it. Oh,
you didn't even do it, did you?
I didn't. Almost put 200. Digital code. Sorry, guys. This thing.
Dead air. Oh, cancel.
It's like watching the Chevy Chase show back in the 90s. Just dead air all the time.
Jesus.
Shot.
That's
Did you ever watch that?
No.
It was really, dude, there was so much dead air. It was really awkward.
I thought he just disappeared for like 20-some years.
He probably should. Total time. This is still set up from...
Wow. Sorry, guys. So hope you all had a wonderful hump day.
Yeah, hump day
Hope things are going well for you. If you're in the U.S., got your little stimmy check and going to buy me a present or maybe dinner.
All right, the giveaway is active now. You have 1 hour to enter in.
We're professionals.
!Enter. You will get a $20 digital code on the platform of your choice, whether it's PSN, Xbox Live, or eShop.
Kev said, might as well let me take a pee break.
Get in there. There you go. Everyone get in there. Everyone get in there. !Enter. Get in there right now. There we go. That's what I like to see. Get in there, all y'all. All right.
Get you a code.
First thing we're going to start off with. Movie time. We got some movies we need to talk about. And the first one we're going to talk about is the Apple Plus movie with Tom Holland.
Mm-hmm.
Cherry. And this was a highly acclaimed movie coming out. There was a lot of hype behind it
Some
because
Oscar buzz too, wasn't there?
What's that?
Wasn't there Oscar buzz or something?
There was some
beforehand?
Oscar buzz surrounding
Like
Tom
early.
Holland, like really, like it was supposed to be a performance of a lifetime,
Right.
and what have you, and all that, all the marketing hype you would expect before a movie comes out. Oh, it's fucking amazing! John
Right.
Travolta is so good in Battlefield Earth, and then it comes out, and you're like, what? It's trash.
Right.
Really trash. But
Sweet makeup.
all right, Tone.
Yeah.
I know that you have a lot you want to talk about with Cherry, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna kind of let you place the table and kind of throw out your first or your thoughts on the movie first.
Oh, put me on the spot.
First, right on the spot. First, it was directed by the Russo brothers of Avengers fame.
Yep.
So everyone knows the Russo brothers. It's starring Tom Holland and Ciara Bravo. And obviously Tom Holland is Spider-Man, so it's interesting to see him in a movie like this that is definitely kind of what we talked about outside of his comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts, please.
And we actually get a Russo cameo as per usual in the movie as well too. So it is definitely a longer movie. It's about 2 hours and 10 minutes. I want to say. Is it 2:20? Okay.
2:20.
Right out the gate for me, like I felt really attuned to this movie. There is some, as they're kind of building the story with these two characters early on, when they kind of have interest in each other. This was the big take for me, and I think this is why I really ended up feeling like I really liked the movie, and like I had a piece of it felt very familiar to me. There is some stuff going on with Tom and Ciara as they're early on in their college. Trying to stop my train of thought.
Very good.
Because this is very, very surreal for me, and it's not like it's hard for me to talk about, but it is kind of hard to talk about because I gotta kind of like rehash some of my past memories. They kind of go through this up and downs in their relationship, which was very, very familiar to me from, almost probably 16, 17 years ago, before I changed my job, changed my life and everything. There was some stuff going on in my life, and relationships were kind of all over the place, and it felt very, very like I almost had that flashback. I'm like, Jesus, this is
you
like
can relate to the character.
It was so crazy how much it actually did.
Sure.
And his path kind of took him one way. He ends up joining the army. They end up splitting. Kind of how she like treated him was very familiar as well too. That resonated with me, and I was like, God, that's like really real for me. And it kind of where he ended up in his life also kind of reminded me of some of the hardships I kind of went through. And I don't want to talk down to anybody that's actually dealt with any form of substance abuse. I've been fortunate to I haven't. I did a little bit dance around some alcohol issues many years ago, to the point where people that I worked with, bosses of mine, would be like, hey, people are, showing up here in the morning, 7 a.m. We can smell alcohol on your breath, things like that. It was bad for a while, and I don't I don't want to try and like minimize anybody else's actual issues. I know that I was probably right around the surface of having truly a real issue, or maybe I did. I don't know. I don't know. I guess necessarily how that worked. That kind of set me back. But I got my shit together at the very least. Thankfully, I was able to do that. And it was more or less, because of that, some of those rude awakenings, people bringing it up to me. So, when they go into some of the stuff later in the movie, when it gets into like drug substance abuse and things that they're going with, it's a hard watch. And when he goes through the army and the things that he's seen with PTSD, and I've got friends that I've known that I'm really close to that I've seen what PTSD does to them. People I've helped try to get better, things like that. A lot of this movie felt, again, one of the words to come back up, it felt very familiar to me.
Sure.
So it got me a little bit deeper, I think, and that's why overall, like I told you, when I was watching this movie, I almost had tunnel vision. Like a lot of times I'm on my phone, I'm fucking around, I'm watching streams, doing this, that, or the other, whatever I'm doing. This movie kept me very engaged, and I tunnel visioned. Like I said early on, it grabbed me because it felt like me, and then I just kept going, and I was like really, really into the story that they were telling. Now, there's a lot of little things about the movie that I thought was really cool. I liked how he was fourth wall about stuff. Tom Holland almost is kind of like the narrator, excuse me. And later on in the movie, it doesn't seem to be as strong there. So there's some little things, and we'll get more of that in a minute after you kind of break it down a little bit deeper. But there was some interesting choices where it started and where it kind of didn't end up. And I think the big takeaway from this movie for me is it was very relatable.
Okay.
Bottom line, it was very relatable for me, and I really, really enjoyed it. I can see the little stuff about it, why, because even the reviews are really weird. But
yeah, they're really weird. They're all over the place.
I was a big fan of the movie. And it was, I don't want to say it was a hard watch. It was a very I was very wide awake opening this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's definitely it's a grittier film. It explores a lot of mature themes, some themes that are going to be really tough for some folks to watch, whether they can relate to it or whether they've been around the type of behavior that's going on here. But first and foremost, the thing I like about some things I like about are the performances. Obviously, seeing Tom Holland find success outside of Spider-Man, obviously that's what he's known for. But we saw, the devil, what was it? The devil
inside,
or the devil all around, or something like that.
Devil all the time.
Devil all the time. The devil all the time, which was cool to see him in that. And then in this movie, I feel like this even allows him more freedom to really hit on all sorts of ranges of his abilities.
Yeah.
And he's really, really good in this movie, guys. Like it's really cool to see him because he's still going to be Spider-Man for however long Disney wants to use him as Spider-Man. But his performance was just really good here. He's strong throughout the entire film. He's, like you mentioned before, he's kind of got some levity to his performance early on with the fourth wall breaking stuff, and it can be a little humorous here and there. But then as the movie he joins the military and everything that he deals with PTSD after the fact, it's a very hard movie to like you said, can watch at times because you're just like, man, the decisions these characters are making, it's so painful. You're just like, gosh, why are they doing this? Yeah. Especially with Ciara Bravo, like she is so good at conveying this naive girl, but she's also broken. She's got some, trust issues, and then to see the path she goes down once Tom Holland comes home and succumbs to addiction, and then her character kind of gets involved in one. You're just like, fuck, man. It's just like these two just can't get a break. They find each other. Things are happy. Some stuff happens. They get separated for a little bit, and when they get back together, they're two different people. And it's just the chemistry there and everything that happens to them going after that. It's just really, really hard to watch. And it was a wild flick. But the thing that I like, the other thing I like is just how they explored PTSD, like the effects of it and how it hits people and how it's really difficult for folks to shake that stuff. And I don't know what it's like personally, but I've heard from others. My grandfather had it, and it was just it's difficult, and the addiction stuff is really hard. But that's why I feel like the second half of the movie, I wish the first half would have been just as taken a little bit more serious. Like you said, with the fourth wall breaking stuff in the first half, I almost felt like the way it was shot and the way that they used the music. It's on Apple Plus, Cuddles. I felt like it was almost shot like a Wes Anderson movie, like Royal Tenenbaums. There was just kind of like this lightheartedness to it with the fourth wall breaking because he's looking into the camera and some of the stuff he's saying. It's funny, but I was just like, I don't know if this fits here. Because the rest of the movie, the whole second half of the movie, there's none of that.
It's fucking painful.
Yeah, it's a dark movie. It's hard to watch. And that's why I was just kind of like, and I don't know if maybe that's the choice of that was, hey, make these folks, these two, like these kind-hearted, fun
almost
people.
Aloof early on.
Yeah, and it just kind of sets you up for the heartbreak. Maybe that was the point of it. I just felt like it was a little off, like it was just a little too heavy in some scenarios. But that was like one of the biggest issues I had was just this weird kind of like the humor they were trying to inject into some scenes. And then, the other thing is just it's almost 2.5 hours long. And when I'm watching a movie, when I start looking at the time, that's where I'm just like, okay, maybe they need to like be more focused with the movie next time. There's probably some scenes they could have cut out and made it a little bit more streamlined, a little bit shorter. But other than the length of the movie, which I feel is a little bloated, and like I said, the weird pacing early on and how it compares to the second half of the movie, it was just odd choices, but it doesn't take away from the performances.
Yeah, we definitely agree on that.
Yeah, the performances are lights out. Like it's a really, really, really strong movie, and it's definitely worth a watch. And I think you mentioned the reviews on Metacritic. I think it's like a 44 on Metacritic, which is really bizarre.
Some weird reviews all over. Like depending where you look, it's a little bit different.
And I mean, on some places it's like it's in the 8s. The user reviews are doing a little bit better than the critical reviews, and I feel like that's because you have more user reviews. It's more relatable to a lot of people. This is, I think,
where the key comes into it.
Yeah, and it resonates more with other folks. So that's probably why some people are digging it a little bit more because they can relate, they can understand what's going on in this movie. And they're like, oh man, that's deep that they're hitting on these themes. So I thought it was a really, really good movie. It had some weaknesses. There was a couple of things that you thought was just flat out weird.
When he gets into some of the stuff he's doing, they show it in the trailers. He starts robbing banks, and he does a hefty sum. I'm like a baker's dozen of these things, and there's cameras and stuff, and half the time he's not even
he's
covering
on
his
camera.
face.
All these people,
Yeah,
he's not
and
covering
it's
up
like,
at all.
yeah, and they're all giving him money, and he's not like working hard for him. Like, is that how that works? Like how in the fucking this takes place in real world post 9/11.
Yeah,
like,
where surveillance is through the roof. Like, how is he? How is
like
he able
how
to
is
just walk
he just
freely?
like that was kind of weird to me. That was really big thing. I don't remember what was the other thing I was thinking.
Mustache.
Too. Oh Jesus Christ! So at the end, like he ends up in some time. There's a piece where he ends up serving some time, and he comes out. He's got this fucking mustache, and it like listen, he's Tom Holland, not Tom Selleck, right? Like, come on, like it was a little weird. Like I don't know why they went with that, and not like a beard or like a goatee or something, but a fucking
it was just
mussy.
it was just kind of a weird. It just looked weird.
Because he's got such a baby face, but this mussy it looked literally like somebody took a caterpillar from like a elm tree and just put it right on his.
That's really, what Sphinx again. Oh no, Tom Holland cannot pull off a mustache. No, it wasn't. It was just. It looked awkward. I was just like, okay,
Awkward's
whatever. I know he
that,
spent some time, but I just, I don't know about a mustache.
And how it ended. It wasn't that it was anticlimactic. It was just a little weird. But I like at the end of the day, like it was a very, for me, it was a very heartbreaking, a very emotional experience, very relatable. There was at times it was even kind of hard for me to watch, and I think it might be for everybody once they get down to how deep they go with their substance abuse. But I think this is a movie, like we said, with all the ratings that we're seeing different from all over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're seeing Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, all different places. Then you see Google reviewers are like a lot of Google reviews, like a lot of thumbs up. So I think it's something that everybody should watch and kind of let us know. If you're on YouTube, give us some comments, give us some, your thoughts, or anywhere else, or, in the VODs, hit us up, DM us, talk about us in the Discord. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it because, again, it's definitely all over the place. Mm-hmm. And for me, it was this movie was pretty deep.
Yeah, I think if it was just a little bit shorter, a little bit more focused, a little bit more consistent all the way through, I think you guys I think it could have been like a phenomenal movie. I mean, watch it for the performances. The performances will carry you from start to finish. There is some really hard things that you'll see. There's some difficult stuff that you'll have to watch, but overall, entertaining flick. It's definitely worth a look. I don't understand the 44 on Metacritic and all that stuff, but hey, that's the beauty of watching these things. Everyone's going to interpret things differently. Everyone's going to see it differently, and it's a good conversation to have. And so if you do watch it, if you do get a chance to watch it, check out this video on YouTube. Go sound off in there. Hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, wherever we have this posted. We want to get your thoughts on Cherry. I think it's one of those movies that can be very kind of divisive. People are going to be kind of, love it or hate it. I don't even know if it's a love it or hate it. I think it's just how you interpret things and how it affects you when you watch it.
What degree you like it, maybe.
I want him to have a mustache as Spider-Man on the outside of his... Oh, my God. Can you imagine if that was the case?
After what I saw at the end of this movie, I can't imagine that at all.
It'd be fucking hilarious. All right, so moving on from Cherry, the next movie we're going to talk about, we actually have a couple of call-ins that want to be a part of this conversation.
Do we?
I'm really excited about that.
Do we?
Really excited about that. So while Cuddles is getting them set, Tone, let's jump over to our next movie review, which is BossLevel.
BossLevel, you say?
BossLevel, available now on Hulu.
Exclusive.
For some reason, all last week, I was just like, "Oh man, I can't wait to watch it on Netflix." And I think I said on a tweet, and I was like, "Oh shit, it's on fucking Hulu." I am a big dummy. But BossLevel, it stars Frank Grillo, Mel Gibson, and Naomi Watts, and it's directed by Joe Carnahan, who also directed The Grey. Which there is. Before we get into the review, I do want to mention one part of the movie that was fucking hilarious. There's a scene where Frank Grillo is walking around with his son. He's explaining to his son that he's a Delta Force guy. He's a badass. And his son goes, "Are you like Liam Neeson in The Grey?" Or he goes, "Are you like the Liam Neeson in Taken?"
I didn't catch that joke.
Dude,
I caught
it's
the
hilarious
reference, but...
it's hilarious because Joe Carnahan directed The Grey. Frank Grillo starred in The Grey, and him and Liam Neeson kind of lock horns throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. The kid goes, "Are you like that guy in Taken who has that special skill set?" And he goes, "Liam Neeson?" He's like, "Nah. He's kind of a fake tough guy.
Yeah.
I'm a real tough guy." And I was like, "Oh my God, that is awesome!" It was just like a nice little nod to the relationship that they made Grey, which is a fucking awesome movie. Have you ever seen The Grey?
I actually haven't.
Oh my God, dude, watch the fucking Grey.
It's not my favorite color.
It's like all jokes. It's a really, really good movie.
That's what you said.
Really good. Love The Grey. Did you ever see The Edge with Alec Baldwin and Anthony Hopkins?
That's an old one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 97. Outdoors, survival movies. I fucking love that shit, and that's kind of what The Grey is like. It's kind of like The Edge. But I digress. back to boss level. This is basically like it's basically Groundhog Day meets what's the one with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt?
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. It's like a mixture of Groundhog Day, Edge of Tomorrow, and I don't know what else you would compare it with, but
video game.
Basically, Frank Grillo is waking up and he's living the same day over and over again, and every day people are trying to kill him. And I mean a lot of people. There's a lot of people trying to kill Frank Grillo in this movie.
My favorite movie.
Tone's favorite movie is 50 Shades of Grey. I have heard this before. I have heard him talk about 50 Shades.
It's a good movie.
It's
big whoop.
It's pretty awful. But Tone, first things first, this movie is ultra violent.
Yeah.
Lots of violence. So
and that's
thumbs up.
Yeah.
That's a good
like
first
that.
impression. I like to see people's heads getting severed. I like seeing being impaled. I like things just getting torn apart. That's fucking awesome. So I'm a big fan of that. Frank Grillo. Let's talk about Frank Grillo for a moment.
All right.
He was amazing in this movie.
He was absolutely awesome. If there was any doubts besides the Skyline third sequel, or maybe the second one, that he can carry a movie, this should crush all that, because he certainly can carry a movie. He's charismatic. He's entertaining. He even pulls off the funny bits really well.
He does. He's got that charm, that charisma. He's got that it factor.
Yeah,
you know what? He's kind of got that Bruce Willis Die Hard thing going on. Funny, good with action. I can't
believe you just did that.
I know, right? But I mean, it is. That's what I got from him. Like, he's funny. It's got some dark humor to it. Mm-hmm. The action is good. The story, for the most part, it's cool. It's a time loop thing, so I'm cool they explored that. I'm sure there's probably some loopholes here and there and some plot holes, but overall, what's cool is there's a lot of action. It's ultra violent, sci-fi, but there's an underlining story about him and his son that kind of gives it some heart.
And listen, it's hard to do that.
It's really difficult
sometimes. Like in these kind of movies, it's hard to have some like actual, this heartfelt realism, emotional thing kind of laced in there. And a lot of things I think try to do that, but they don't always succeed at that. With this movie, succeeds well. It's not like so much in your face. It really fits. That's the weird thing about it. The whole thing fits, and the realization when he came around to that was even pretty amazing.
Yep.
Listen, it's a very fun movie.
It's entertaining. It goes by fast. The pacing is great.
Yeah,
the performances are good. Frank Grillo's good. Mel Gibson is good, even though I feel like him and Naomi Watts is just given absolutely nothing to work with. Like, I felt like she was wasted in this movie. Naomi Watts is an Oscar-winning actress. She's very talented. She knows what the hell she's doing. But she didn't have a whole lot to work with, so she was kind of left hanging there. Mel Gibson chews up his scenes. He does what he's supposed to do, but again, not given a whole lot to, like, I feel like Mel Gibson
was underused a lot.
I feel like he could have been way more menacing in this role.
He should have had more. He should have been able to spread his chops a little bit more.
Not a whole lot to work with in terms of like material, but I mean, it didn't really matter because, again, Frank Grillo was just that good in this movie. Like, dude, Frank Grillo is 55 years old. I didn't know that. He's 55 years old, and the guy is still just a badass. He's got the action. This guy is a leading man in action movies for sure. Like, I hope he gets more gigs going forward outside of anything directed by Edward Drake and starring Bruce Willis. But I digress. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But first up, we have a call-in. We have Atomic of Bomb Shelter Gaming.
Yes.
We're going to bring him on right now.
Bomb Shelter Gaming.
Atomic. Do we have it? What is going on, dude? How's your night going? No, you're beautiful, baby. You are beautiful.
You're good.
How? We want to get your thoughts, man. What did you think of Boss Level? Big fan, or did you hate it? Did you love it? Where you at?
I give it probably a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Reasons,
okay.
2 reasons why it kind of took me back just a little bit was when Gypsy and I sat down to watch it. It was when we started the movie, we actually stopped it and restarted it because we thought it glitched and we missed 10 minutes of the beginning.
Oh no!
The way it started, but come to find out, that's just the way the movie was set up.
Also threw you off like that.
I felt like it. And I like to keep it blunt, but I feel like it gave me cinema blue balls because it was like 10 minutes into the movie.
Okay.
And then it shut us down 10 minutes before. And I was just a little disappointed in that, and they could have used a little bit more Mel Gibson. Now, me and Gypsy have a big debate about this.
Ooh. Well, what's it about?
I'm a huge Gibson fan.
Okay.
And I felt like they should have tapped his potential just a little bit more than what they did.
I
He
agree.
just seemed kind of stale.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100% on that. I feel like he was underused a little. I mean, what he was given, he did better with than what Naomi Watts did. But yeah, like there was just not enough Mel Gibson. He should have been way more menacing in this role.
What would you say was one of your favorite parts of the movie? Do you have a favorite scene or anything specific you really like about it?
Yeah, I mean, really, just like the fact that it was. It seemed like every run, every loop, you learned more and more about who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that pivotal moment when he realized, that it was all coming around to the way it was, without giving away any spoilers.
Sure.
I think that exact moment when I don't know, being a dad, I guess, that flicker in your eye that you see, you're like, oh shit, okay,
right,
okay, way to step up, bud, way to step up.
No, I like that part of it too. I like that they kind of explored that a little bit more. I mean, it was hinted at earlier on that that's his son, and I was wondering, are they really going to dive into that? And they did enough where I was like, okay, that kind of fleshes out his character. I mean, yes, he's been killing a lot of people. He's a Delta Force badass, but he wants to embrace the role of a father. He knows the mistakes that he made, and so now he's trying to make up for that. Did you want to share anything else on Atomic? Anything else you want to say on it?
I mean, when it comes to the assassins in the game,
yes.
Holy fuck, they did an amazing job. Amazing job.
Yeah, everyone's really, really good now.
That was the best. But
yeah, the action was dope. I agree.
Yeah, they all had enough personality. They all had their unique style, what they were doing. They were all kind of just like goofy, like you said, just basically video game villains, what you would expect from just an over-the-top characters. And I felt they were really, really fun, too. Like they all had like a different thing going on.
Love it.
Awesome. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you calling in. Appreciate you sharing your thoughts. Always a pleasure to have you on, and hopefully we'll have you on again soon.
Yeah, sounds good, fellas.
All right.
Have a good one.
Thanks, dude. He makes a lot of good points. Again, I'm with him on the Mel Gibson thing. I kind of wish there was just more Mel Gibson. I wish there was just more of him in this movie and more menacing. Because like we've seen his range, we know what he can do in movies like Fat Man and all that stuff in these types of movies. I think a Payback, like when he wants to be menacing, he can be very, very menacing.
Yeah, and he was like so close to that.
He was close. Again, it's about the material, and maybe he just wasn't given enough.
Right.
But we're on to our second caller now. We're gonna bring on Jay Hill. Josh has been. Hey, I've known Josh for a long time. I've known him since he was a kid. So we're gonna bring him on and get his thoughts.
Awesome.
On Boss Level.
And thanks for those subs out there, everybody. We appreciate you all so much.
Appreciate you guys very, very much.
Thank you.
Jay Hill.
Appreciate it.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. We can hear you now. How is your night going, sir?
Oh, it's good, but before we start, I'm going to need a cheers.
Oh.
Take a drink.
Cheers. Well, we can do that for you, my friend. Cheers to you, Jay Hill. Cheers to everyone out in the chat. Appreciate you all hanging out. It's St. Patty's Day.
Cheers.
And I'll finish it for you. But, Josh, your thoughts? Your shots on Boss Level?
I really liked it. I like these movies. Like you said earlier, Groundhog Day, Edge of Tomorrow. I don't know if you've seen Palm Springs with Andy Samberg, but it's kind of the same kind of same day repeating comedy thing.
I have not seen that.
It's pretty funny. It's not as it's a little more serious at sometimes, but it's kind of the same concept.
Okay.
It's pretty good. I think it's on Amazon Prime or something.
What's it called again?
Palm Springs.
Palm Springs. Okay, I'll write that down and check that out for sure. I love Andy Samberg, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah, it's got the guy from the Spider-Man newscaster guys in it.
Oh, J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, he's in it.
Oh man, I'm down. I'm down with that.
Do you love some J.K. Simmons?
I'm a huge fan of J.K. Simmons. But yeah, man. Like, what else stood out to the film? What were like any favorite scenes? Like anything that they did in the movie that particularly stood out to you?
Yeah, I love the how he was narrating, like kind of the whole time, even like when he was getting killed, like he was still narrating it, and like
that's true.
He forgot, or like, he's like, oh, did I have the bus yet? And then no, and he got hit by the bus.
Yeah, he'd have to, he'd mess up something.
Yeah, he'd remember. He's like, oh shit, I forgot that. Yeah, like that. Like he kind of had that noir, like narrating his own moves and everything that's going on around him, and it was all comedic. It was really, really fun.
Yeah, I also like the Will Sasso sword part when he was talking about, did someone smell muffins? And then Frank Grillo calls him a unicorn. I was dying.
Yeah, that was really. You're right. That was really funny, actually.
Dude, it was interesting to see Will Sasso in this role.
Yeah, it was a really random.
Yeah, he's a heavy
role.
in a movie where I just know him as SNL. I know him from Three Stooges.
He wasn't SNL. It was Mad TV.
Oh, Mad TV. Sorry, Mad TV.
Yeah.
He was in Three Stooges. So I've known him as a funny guy, for the most part. And then he shows up in this movie as a heavy, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
It was an interesting choice, but it worked. Like I thought he was really good
fine,
as the heavy.
Yeah, the unicorn joke was pretty fucking good.
Unicorn joke was hilarious. But Josh, is there anything about the movie that didn't quite resonate with you, that you didn't quite care about, or was it just an all-out hit for you?
The science, some of that stuff kind of was I just kind of went over it, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna not try to think about the science.
Right.
Yeah. This
for what it is, because normally I'm all about the science. That's what draws me in. But this one, I was like, oh, okay, now they're talking about ancient Egypt and stuff. And I don't know. It was kind of like, oh, that's a weird way to go. I wish they could have went with aliens or something. It would have been better.
Right. This wasn't Looper. This wasn't Looper or Back to the Future time stuff. It was just kind of like a catalyst. It was just there to move the story forward. It was really more about the action. But I agree with you. Yeah, the whole science behind the time looping and all that stuff was just kind of I don't know if that's
there almost really wasn't any science really.
There really wasn't, except for the spinny thing in the middle.
Yeah.
That he walks into. That's the only science we really got on. Because again, that's probably where Naomi Watts' character would have been more useful to explain the science a bit more. But again, she just wasn't given a whole lot to work with and to help with the narrative at all.
Yeah, and I think at that point it became kind of irrelevant because at the end of the day, as we saw from the story, there was a bigger story they were trying to focus on instead of
the relationship with the son. That was obviously the more standout thing. So.
But I get that though from your standpoint, because I thought the same thing too. I'm like, what? Like they didn't explain a whole lot of what's going on.
Not much at all. But Josh, anything else you want to add?
No, I just like these kind of movies because it makes you think how many times little choices throughout your life could make a big impact from the butterfly effect type of thing, where you do one choice instead of the other, how your life can change.
Yeah,
and I don't know, it just can be entertaining to think about that.
I agree.
That is pretty deep, man. That's a deep thing to think about with this type of movie. What one little mistake could lead to your demise.
Yeah, like forgetting you're about to get hit by a bus again.
Yeah, I jumped out the wrong window. Oh, shout out to Rob Gronkowski with this cameo.
Yeah, what a random cameo on a fucking gun in a helicopter.
Yeah, dude, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Two of the other cameos were MMA fighters, Rashad Evans and Quentin Rampage Jackson, were the Russian twins.
Oh, it was Rampage.
It was both of those two.
I knew I recognized them too.
Russian guys.
Oh shit! And who was the? I forget her name. Is it Cho? That she taught him how to sword fight. She's always amazing.
I can't remember.
She was really good.
She's always
Tricky mentions him learning how to sword fight was cool.
Yeah,
that was fucking awesome.
That was really cool.
That was really cool. And his matchup at the end was
Michelle.
And Quan Chi did this.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. I like that.
And at the end, he got his.
Michelle.
He got the last laugh. So.
Yeah, that was good.
But Josh, thank you so much for calling in, man. We appreciate you calling. We appreciate the support. We know you're here every week, man.
Yeah,
and seriously, man, great to have you on.
No problem, man.
All right, take care, dude.
All right.
There's so much to enjoy about this movie, and again, it's not the type of movie where you're going to be sitting down thinking afterwards. I can be trying to piece together the time loop stuff. You're just there for the entertainment, the fun value, people getting sliced and diced, people getting shot and mutilated. It is what it is. What you see in the trailer is what you get.
And there is a reason why they call it boss level. It is literally
it's like a roguelike.
It's like a roguelike video game.
Yeah.
It's literally what it is. And it's a fucking neat take. And man, it's out of nowhere. It's a Hulu exclusive.
Yep.
And I can't sing enough praise about it. This will be a movie that I'll be like, I'd totally watch that again.
Oh hell yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. So
absolutely.
If you get a chance, please watch it. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're, wherever you're seeing or hearing us, DM us, get us on Twitter, YouTube, holler at us, Facebook, whatever it is. Let us know your thoughts on the movie. We really enjoyed it, and clearly, everybody seemed to enjoy it so far too. Atomic and J Hill, though both of them definitely had some little things that they criticize about it, which we definitely like some criticism too.
Yeah, it's okay to criticize the things that you love, like Waterworld. He's trash.
Nope.
Facts.
Nope.
Speaking of trash, let's move on
Uh-oh.
to the final review. There's one thing about
it is amazing
about this. I don't know if you guys and girls remember. Probably about a month ago.
Yeah.
We saw the trailer for Cosmic Sin.
We sure did.
And I don't know if you guys and girls remember this, so here you go. We know how Bruce Willis is, but he's showing some acting chops in like Sixth Sense, and a couple other movies we're going to talk about here right now. But there's something about Bruce Willis in sci-fi movies. The guy has this niche with sci-fi where he actually does really, really well when he does these full-on sci-fi movies. Looper was a 93 on Rotten Tomatoes.
It was so much
Looper, a fantastic sci-fi movie. 12 Monkeys. 89, a fantastic sci-fi movie. Fifth Element.
That's too low of a number.
70, but that thing's a cult classic. He does really, really well with sci-fi. So I'm optimistic because of that. This is his kind of that niche genre that he gets into that just people really dig seeing Bruce Willis in. So I'm kind of optimistic because of how well he's done in sci-fi compared to the other movies that he's done. Yeah, so about that. You and I watched Cosmic Sin this past weekend, and I said it after I watched it, and I maintained my stance. This might be the worst movie I've ever seen.
Woo! All right.
This might be the absolute worst fucking movie I have ever seen.
Okay.
Before we trash it, I want to try to give it some praise. So just something. So I'm not a total jerk
All
here.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know what? The floor is yours.
It's a good-looking movie in terms of its presentation, the cinematography.
I would agree.
It's a clean-looking movie. It looks big budget for the most part.
Some of the CG looks really good.
Some of the CG looks really good.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's it. We're done. We're done being nice.
So next topic is
before I just lose my shit tone, I want to get your first thoughts on Cosmic Sin. Please say something else nice about the movie. Wait,
you want me to say something nice about the movie?
Yes. Is it gonna be the same thing I'm gonna say?
Kinda. As somebody who's a big fan of astrophysics, I thought like some of the planetary look and some of the flying through the debris as they're coming to an atmosphere, I thought that stuff looked really fucking good.
The other good thing I was gonna say, it's only 88 minutes.
That's a good.
Less than an hour and a half.
That can round up
time.
the top 3. There you go.
But no, Tom. I mean, just quick impressions of this fucking terrible movie.
Hey, Bruce Willis, stay home.
Stop.
Just stop.
Stop.
Like, find a nice place. Buy a horse. Move up to the mountains where you can't bother anybody.
Stop.
I don't give a shit what you do. Leave us alone, please. For the fucking love of whatever God you want to believe in. If not, whatever it is, stay home. Don't bother us. We're done. We're good. Hey, you know what? Let's not continue to rub your fucking past or your past shit or whatever you want to say. I'm trying to collect my thoughts, but I'm so disappointed in this movie because the trailer, we were excited about it about a month ago. I was really excited going into the movie, and then we started seeing some of the reviews like, ooh, boy, this is not good, right? I feel like that just about anybody with a little bit of computer knowledge could probably put together a movie that's much more coherent, better dialogue, better writing. Listen, the dialogue in this movie is so terrible.
It's horrible.
Like, we probably can't verbatim everything that we had to go through when it comes to some of the dialogue, especially out of Bruce Willis. It was uncomfortably bad. Even certain parts where they decide to use makeup was uncomfortably bad.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe that somebody stamped this and thought, hey, man, this is going to be a big, awesome sci-fi movie and Bruce Willis is back. What? It's absolutely terrible. There's some... I can't think of her real name. She's in WWE. She's Lana. I want to say her real name's AJ. I might be wrong on that. But she really comes into this movie for no fucking reason. And she in the wrestling area, she does fine for her acting because that's what it is. There's a portion of what in wrestling you're acting. In this movie, she's completely terrible. Like terrible. Like everything about there's a couple of spots where somebody says something and you got Bruce has to say like something to kind of like accentuate or whatever it is. And it's like 2 words and you're
Dude,
like
every conversation is
what?
literally 2 sentences.
It's terrible.
There's no context to anything. You're just like, what the fuck was the point of this conversation?
They can't even get an actor in this movie to flirt without making you feel like you're
Awkward.
Awkward and uncomfortable. It's really fucking bad. Now, somewhere in this was a neat idea. There's some neat ideas in this, but the choices they make to take that great idea and like it's almost like they were trying too hard in some spots with this to make it more than it needed to be when it didn't. Like the whole fact that these aliens were basically like a parasite, and okay, so we're infected. Well, what do they care about what they're like? Why does that change who they? Like there was just some questions like why would they want the special armor? Why would they wear this? Or why would they look like this? Or why would they do this? Now all of a sudden they're talking and they're sentient when all the other ones aren't. Like if they're doing a hive mind thing, okay, that makes sense, but they didn't point that out.
Dude, there's no explanation for anything in this movie.
There's no
None.
explanation for anything that's going on in this movie.
I mean, I don't want to drag this out because it's painful to even fucking talk about.
Yeah, I've given it more time than
but
I really feel like I should. I
Willis
apologize.
Mails this fucking movie in the entire time. Everything is just he looks bored. He's not even trying. Like it's that bad. And maybe they should save money and not casting Willis and just no, that's the thing, dude. Here's the thing, J Hill. Frank Grillo is actually top billed in this movie. He's the top bill. He's in it for 15 fucking minutes.
Is he even in it that long?
That might be generous.
Honestly, I don't think he's in it that fucking long, dude.
Dude, it's an absolute like this. Like man, I feel like I've seen Frank Grillo on both ends of the spectrum.
Yes.
I've seen him in BossLevel, which was awesome, and I've seen him in Cosmic Sin, which I'm surprised he still has a fucking career after this. Bad. It's that bad of a movie. Edward Drake, the director and writer, who has written all sorts of Bruce Willis shit in the previous like 5-6 years, should never get another gig ever in Hollywood. Oh no, Jiu-Jitsu is better than this movie. Jiu-Jitsu is better than this movie by far.
Jiu-Jitsu actually makes sense.
Jiu-Jitsu, I don't know about all that, but it's just
okay, compared to this?
Oh, dude, everything
at least Jiu-Jitsu made
sense.
Sense.
Compared to this movie is better. This movie is trash. It is so fucking bad. The dialogue is so bad. The CGI, the other CGI, not the shit you saw in the trailer. The other CGI is so bad. It's embarrassing. Seeing Frank Grillo with this cheap fucking metal helmet and this like grid like looking CGI mask flying through space talking and you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're supposed to believe he's out in space in zero gravity, right? Or whatever, what do they call it? Zero, whatever it is. And it's some like computer generated whatever, and yet he drives an S10 up into the base 300 years after an S10 is relevant, right? Or 400, right? What was it?
Oh yeah.
Somebody you said.
Yeah, it's like 2550. The year's 2550. You got flying ships everywhere, but Frank Grillo is driving around in an S10. Like what is going on? And it's not like he's some lowlife. He's like this general. And he's driving around in an S10 300 years from now. Yeah, everyone else has got fucking Blade Runner cars flying around. There he is driving around in his busted down S10. What the fuck?
There ain't no way S10's still drivable 500 years after they're relevant. Sorry.
Dude, this movie makes no fucking sense.
Jay Hill earlier, yes, that was a dirty work joke, by the way. I did want to come back to that. Mark says, yeah, we touch on Kevin Smith and Bruce Willis stuff very often around here. It is very heartbreaking to see and hear that as well, too. And yeah, Prime, like, I mean, this looked like, sure, bad, like, I guess degrees. Everything that was good about this movie was shown in the trailer. And I'm pretty certain that about halfway through the film, somebody knew, yeah, this movie's going to be shit. No more money for your CG.
The interesting thing is, yes, all the best parts were in the trailer, but when you take those scenes that are in the trailer and expand them by, I don't know, 5 seconds, both sides, it's a fucking shit scene. You're like, wow, I do remember that scene. It was fucking lame. Oh, I remember that scene. I remember the CGI 2 seconds later was really fucking bad. This movie fucking sucks. Don't buy it. Don't rent it. Don't torture anyone and make them watch it. It is trash. This movie fucking sucks. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is my announcement right here. Bruce Willis was a childhood hero. Love Die Hard. Love Last Boy Scout. Loved Hudson Hawk, even though that was shitty. I liked Last Man Standing, Sixth Sense, Fifth Element. Right now, going forward, I don't give a fuck if he's nominated for an Oscar. I am not watching another Bruce Willis movie ever again. He's dead to me. I am done with Bruce Willis.
Not even
that
G.I.
hurts.
Joe?
That hurts, dude. That really hurts. I am never watching a Bruce Willis film. I don't care if it goes right to theaters and there's so much praise for it. I'm done with it, dude. This movie is so bad. If it's on late night on TV, don't watch it. Watch it for about 5 minutes and you can be like, oh, shit, yeah, this is really fucking bad. It's horrific. I've never been so excited to not watch a movie. I'm sorry. I don't want to talk about this movie anymore. It fucking sucked. It was terrible. And, it's trash.
So since you're not buying or renting it, and everybody's might be getting them stimmy checks, you can just buy me lunch.
Buy him lunch.
Instead.
Buy him a Burnham.
Mm.
Get me a Burnham.
Give me a Burnham.
All right, moving on to better things. Fuck you, Bruce Willis.
What's the next thing? Oh yeah, I'm excited to talk about this.
I know you are.
Sorry.
So you can hold your little bladder
I'm
for
good
a
for
second.
a minute. I'm good for a minute.
We're gonna talk about.
I don't have a catheter tonight. Sorry.
We're talking
everybody.
about some anime. We're doing a little bit of anime. Tone.
Yeah.
You told me, hey, Pacific Rim: The Black is an anime that's on Netflix. You got to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you I'll preface this by saying I saw the first Pacific Rim.
Right.
Many years ago. Only saw it like twice. Thought it was a decent flick. Thought it was kind of campy. You kind of explained things to me the other day. Why, kind of felt that way. But I thought it was cool. It was entertaining. It was fun. But it was just kind of campy. Nothing where I was like, oh, I got to watch this again. And I tuned into this show, dude. 7 episodes. This show is better than the movie. I don't know if it's better than the sequel. I never saw it. This is better than the movie. This is a really, 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 really good show. Like, I really dug this show. Like, a lot. Good story. Great voice acting. Great characters. Great animation. I'm hyped for the next season. I'm hyped for this to continue.
I'm gonna try to keep it out of spoiler. We're not gonna dive into spoilers on this.
No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers here. So go ahead. You can hang out. I'm a huge okay. So it's quite well known around here that I love kaiju movies no matter what. If it's as tall as a skyscraper, I'm probably gonna love it and watch it regardless of it. Like, listen, Godzilla movies are fucking campy. It's just the reality of it. Most Godzilla movies are campy. I love the first fucking Pacific Rim. Del Toro's a huge fan of Japanese cinema. He loves animation. He loves anime. He's our Lovecraft guy too, but he and then you can see it by the kaiju as well too. He made the movie was campy, and I just want to come back to this because that's kind of how animes are. Animes are kind of campy. This is a Netflix original. It's definitely got an anime look and anime feel. It's done very in the voice acting sense westernized. Like, I actually checked last night because even my wife was like, what, no Japanese audio? I'm like, you know what, I actually didn't look for that. Let me look right now, and there's not. So that's really exciting because anime has gotten to be so popular in the western part of the world, that nowadays we're getting these great anime done all over the world now, and it feels like something done that's in the East. And we don't have to worry about how campy and terrible the dialogue is, and that's usually where I've fallen when it comes to watching subs and dubs. This is a very, very good series. I love the flicks. This takes place in Australia, which, as you remember, in the movie, the first original movie, and I believe even the second ones, there are folks from all around the world. So there are folks from Australia. Raleigh and his father are from Australia. This takes place pretty much, I think, right after the original Breach. It's called the Black because of the area they are. Like, I don't think they have any connection to anywhere outside of of Australia as part of the shtick with it. And it follows these 2 children who their parents were pilots of a Jaeger at some point. And it follows their tale 5 years after their parents went to fight, and they're kind of still stuck alone. They help create a little community and settlement with some of the survivors that they had hidden in the mountains, and it kind of just follows where they go. There's some really interesting ways and directions they went. They find a friend along the way. It's a very interesting take. They went with that friend in the end.
Yep.
And all over. I thought that was very unique, which compared to, so the movies feel like live action animes. And that was kind of the point. This really leans into Eastern storytelling and really goes super anime, but it works. It's really fun. I was a little surprised by a couple of the decisions. I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Some of the I was reading online. There are some folks that have some issues with some of the liberties they take with the show.
They definitely do with kind of the mythos, but it is what it is, and it fits probably better in animation form than maybe it would in like a film form.
Sure.
Because this is going to be more of a hyper focus on a small group of people, niche people or whatever that are going to be into it. So overall, 7 episodes. I thought it was really good. There's a couple of scenes that you're like, whoa,
There
holy
are some
shit.
real wild scenes.
Yeah. It was a good time. I was really surprised on how well it was, because sometimes these animations, when you try to take things based off of something and add a little twist to it, like, I know this is very obscure, but Cloverfield, for instance, has done some different things outside of just the movies, because in Japan it was really popular because they love kaiju.
Right.
They did some mangas and stuff like that. And
really?
And in these mangas, they go really left field, and over here it didn't stick. But over there it was real popular because, that's just kind of how their storytelling goes. And that's kind of how this is as well, too. It's very familiar in that sense that this anime kind of like, instead of being a little more straight and kind of forward, it definitely veers in some different directions and some storytelling. But it does still work in this. I like I said, I love the movies. I'm one of the few that actually does like the second movie. Not everybody does like that one. I do like it, and I don't take any issue with it. But this definitely feels like Pacific Rim in another part of the world, and I can't tell you enough. I definitely recommend it. It's I believe it is rated R. It's mature, right? Because it's
mature. It's very mature.
It's pretty. There's a lot of swears, a lot of violence, which is awesome. But man, the animation's great. Nolan North has a voice in it, which we can't get enough of him no matter what, even for a brief character that he's got. And man, if you like these movies at all,
I really hope his character, because it's almost like a cameo, a voice cameo.
It is.
But I hope at some point I hope in the second season his character, I don't know if his character is even still there, but I would really like to see that, like, kind of have them grow that out a little bit.
Absolutely. I think that's kind of the thing that you can do with some of these things, is that when you have media that coincides with other media, you kind of get some freedoms. They definitely took some freedoms and liberties with this story as it was, and kind of explored some different thought processes with it. And it might not resonate with everybody, but it's all fantasy anyways.
Right.
And when you understand and consider that even the movies were basically supposed to be modeled after anime, that's why you had campy characters like Ron Perlman playing just like this crazy collector guy.
And Charlie Day in it.
So you got to go understand going into this that it's definitely going to feel more like that and just kind of work. So
gotcha. But, no, I mean, Netflix is killing it with their animes, dude. Like you got the Transformers anime, which is really, really. Isn't there a Castlevania anime?
The Castlevania anime, I'm about halfway through that. I know Draston's a big fan. There's a lot of folks that are big fans of it. Like,
I want to check it out right now because
it's really good. Like, it's written very well. Like those could be a movie.
Really?
It's that good.
Yeah.
Those could be a movie.
Yeah, I want to see it. And I believe, is the Resident Evil, or is that just a different type? Is that just a cartoon?
I don't know on that one.
I don't know if that's. I don't think
to
that's
that
anime,
shit.
But yeah. See, people are already digging on the Castlevania.
Castlevania's
I'm gonna have to watch
really
that,
good.
because they're killing
really
it. They're killing it with anime. It's a movie reboot. Okay. Man, I thought for sure it was like something else, but yeah, I want to check out Castlevania because really this is good. Transformers good. Netflix is doing really, really good. With their anime.
Yeah, they've got some exclusive animes too that are definitely more like, Eastern anime style, but yeah, they're doing a great job really kind of grabbing some of that market and not being like Crunchyroll or anything like that. So pretty awesome.
Absolutely. All right. Is it time?
Yeah, it's definitely time.
I can see it running down your leg.
How long till the giveaway is
You have
done?
plenty of time to go tinkle, buddy.
Okay, and is there any homework you need to be doing while I'm gone?
No.
Okay, good. Just checking.
Well, I mean, I can't promise you that these won't be full
by
the time you get back.
That's what I was kind of hinting
Oops.
at, so.
Hey, if you got shots at home, pour yourself a shot. We're going to do some shots when he gets back because it's St. Patty's Day. You got to do shots. All right, we'll be right back. Just an FYI, y'all are fucking nasty. And welcome back. Y'all are fucking nasty, seriously. Some of the comments that were in there during the pee break was just uncalled for.
Oh, we got some comments out there? Why don't you tell me about
Yeah, we
them?
got some funny people. We got some funny folks. I think that they think they're funny. They think they're funny, and they are. They're hilarious. But, I don't think I turned the mics on. Did I turn the mic on? Did I turn the mic on? Are the mics on? Yes, they're on. Okay, cool.
Oh!
Friday is going to be epic. This looks so good. Yes, this looks really good. But before we get to this... Oh, what happened? Oh, shots. Cheers to you. And to everyone out there who's watching, if you have your shot glass, please hold it up. We thank you. We love that all of you are here every Wednesday night. We appreciate hanging out with you, talking all sorts of pop culture and bullshitting and getting drinks. Dude, I wanted to get Jameson. I was going to ask the wife to pick it up, but she had the dog in the car and she couldn't stop at the place. We were going to do Jameson. Instead, we're going to do the old reliable screwball peanut butter whiskey, which I really don't care. It's that fucking good. I'll drink it whenever. But Jameson would have been a good call. I was actually looking at videos of how to make those shots, those layered ones. There's like one you can do. It makes like the Italian flag. I was really going to think about doing that tonight, but I'm too fucking drunk. I would have messed it up. So, all right. Well, cheers to you. Cheers to everyone hanging out with us. We appreciate you.
Always
Bottoms
appreciate
up.
you.
Salud. Oh my god, that's so fucking sexy. Oh, so fucking sexy.
It tastes like peanut butter.
It does taste just
oh my
like
god,
peanut
it's so
butter.
good.
But Tone, this week we 1 week off. We had nothing on Friday night to watch. Nothing on Disney Plus, which was kind of like, honestly, sobering. Because I mean, WandaVision was so good, and it was awesome having it every Friday night. WandaVision's coming out. Let's watch it tonight. Let's go. We had a week off, and that was painful, but we're back now, and we have this week the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We've already seen reactions to the first episode pop up on social media. Unanimously praised. Like, a lot of people really, really liked this episode. One thing that I like, 48 minutes.
That's a good start.
48 minutes.
Which means the rest will be 24 minutes apiece.
right. So I have 48 minutes and then maybe hit 30 the rest of the season, which would be really kind of a bummer. Thank you so much, Have As Be Review. We appreciate those bits. Josh asks, what is the timeline of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
So it would be X amount of time. I don't know the time after Endgame, really. You know,
after the blip, they
once
come back.
Once he gets the shield from Cap and gives it to Falcon.
I'm sure they'll probably go into specifics more once the show starts. Isn't U.S. Agent Kurt Russell's son?
That's one of the rumors right now going around. Yes,
dude. If that's it, dude. Kurt Russell's son was awesome. He was obviously awesome. I loved him in 22 Jump Street, but he was amazing in Overlord. You remember that movie that we watched?
I didn't watch that actually yet.
Oh my god!
But I know he's a big main character in that.
Oh
right?
yeah,
like,
he's a huge part, and he's awesome in that movie. Yeah. Like he's That dude's got potential. He's got a lot of potential. So I'm really excited to see if he is going to be U.S. agent. That'd be fucking dope. But who is U.S. agent, Tone?
U.S. agent is another Captain America, kind of.
Kind of a knockoff.
I mean, yeah, I'm not. And Jay Hill or somebody's probably going to really school me on this one. I'm not overly familiar U.S. agent outside the fact that I want to say, and how we get on time for a minute. He was chosen by the government to kind of represent Captain or like another version of the Captain that I think that they could kind of like on a control or maybe or tell what to do because I think Captain clearly is going to have at some point he makes decisions like, oh, is that morally correct or not? So
right.
I'm not great with U.S. agents, so if anybody out there is a little bit better with that, that's not me. So he was the government's foot soldier.
Government's foot soldier.
Okay, there you go.
Mark Roebuck says Kurt Russell turned 70 today.
Today?
Kurt Russell is an icon and a treasure. I love Kurt Russell. I can't think of too many movies outside of what's that? Captain Ron.
Oh, God.
I was not a fan of Kurt Russell.
You didn't like that movie?
I didn't like Captain Ron. Dude.
Oh my God, I fucking loved it.
That was a bad movie. But like Breakdown, awesome underrated film where he is really, really good in it.
Soldier.
Soldier was actually not bad.
That gets a lot of hate, but I fucking love Soldier.
No, Soldier was not bad. But I loved him. What was he in the Robert Rodriguez flick? Was it Grindhouse?
He was in one of those.
He was one of those where he's the driver in the car. He's like, and he's like a killer. He kills people in the car. Like he hunts them down and shit. He is fucking.
Was it Grindhouse? Yeah.
Death Proof. Thank you.
Death Proof. Yeah.
Dude, he is fucking amazing in Death Proof. J.O. Catherine Ron is amazing. Okay, cool. Cool. Yep. All right, cool. Yep.
He was awesome in Hateful Eight, which is a
Hateful Eight. He's really, really good.
It's a polarizing Tarantino movie, but I
huge
loved him
fan of Kurt Russell, man. The guy is just
Snake Plissken.
Obviously Snake
Tango
Plissken.
and Cash.
He was in The Thing. I mean,
oh God, that's
he's so good. He's so good. 1 minute and 30 seconds to enter the drawing. Yeah,
so we're going to keep delaying here for a minute and talk about Kurt Russell because he is amazing.
I mean, honestly, it's so difficult to like pinpoint like my favorite Kurt Russell movie.
It's got to be you know what movie it is.
What?
You know what movie it is.
If you tell me Captain Ron, the bit
No,
stole.
it's not.
What? Tell me.
Come on, man. You bought a T-shirt recently. You know
The Thing?
Your favorite. No. Pork Chop Express. Come on, motherfucker.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, so many of his characters came under like John Carpenter, his movies.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, yeah. Like Big Trouble in Little China.
That is my favorite Kurt Russell.
That's the best one?
Hands down. Hands fucking down.
I really like Snake Plissken, man. I love Escape.
Well, and I also really love Things. So like that's in the conversation.
Yeah.
But
R.W. McCready.
But he's a Pork Chop Express.
Yeah. Jack Burton. It's really hard to argue with that. It's really hard to argue with that. But he's made so many great movies, and his son has that. He has that it factor. Like his son is a really, really good actor. Like he's got a lot of promise. And I think, like I said, after seeing him in Overlord, I'm like, this guy's badass.
Yeah,
like he's a real badass. So I'm really excited to see where he can go. And if this is his like big break into this through U.S. Agent, that'd be fucking dope.
You can get tips from Dad.
Yeah, I mean, hell yeah, Dad's been in the MCU. So he knows.
It's true.
He knows. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Nitro. 4,
3, 2, 1. And our winner is Gone Overthinking.
Gone Overthinking.
Gone Overthinking.
Congratulations. If you are out there, make sure to hit exclamation point claim. There
awesome. We go. Gone Overthinking. Gone Overthinking. We need to figure out how to get a hold of you. If not, I think I can just whisper a message. If you're not in our Discord, which you should be, I can hook you up with a code in there, or I can whisper it to you through here.
Twitter. You want to DM on Twitter?
Yeah, I mean, you just have to Tombstone. You forgot about. Tombstone. I mean,
Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, that's a pretty robust cast, but yeah, you're right.
No, it doesn't even matter. Bone Tomahawk's
pretty fucking dope,
awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, Kurt Russell is just god tier.
You called down the thunder. Well, now you got it.
You tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me. I was like, oh my god, let's go.
Yeah, fucking Tombstone.
Dude,
right.
Now I feel like that might be the best.
No,
one.
it's not. You know what it is. We already said it.
I love Jack Burton,
no,
dude.
Big
I love Jack
Trouble
Burton, but Wyatt, I don't know, dude.
No, Big Trouble Little China, baby. All day.
Dude,
Come on.
That's a whole show. That's a whole show we could get into Kurt Russell. Like we do like a Big Ten, like an NCAA tournament board of Kurt Russell movies.
Why don't we do that?
We could do like a Sweet 16.
Why don't we do that sometime?
Dude, maybe a Kurt Russell one and then a Nick Cage one down the road.
Oh, that's too easy. That's
That would be a full 64 field.
No,
you wouldn't have to
because
go
all of
16.
Nick Cage's movies would be amazing because it's Nick Cage.
That would be really tough. That would be a tough one, dude.
Yeah,
that'd be a really tough one. Kurt Russell's
right.
got that love muscle. Kurt Russell, the love muscle.
Got that love muscle. All right, back on topic. Yes, John Walker is U.S. agent. He was given a job by government to replace Cap, and he was a terrible dude.
Ooh.
Which would make a whole lot of sense how it will fit in perfect to this. So here we go. So finally, because originally, keep in mind, this was supposed to come out before WandaVision. I don't know how that fit in with COVID and everything with the streaming service and everything kind of moved around, but we are finally here to this. And now I've talked about it before and I will say it again. Winter Soldier. Yes, I know Infinity War and Endgame have been out. I understand that, but Winter Soldier still and will always be my number one favorite MCU
It's an amazing
film.
movie, dude. It's an amazing movie.
That is always going to be my net.
It's more of a spy thriller than it is a fucking
espionage. Yeah, there's a lot going on in it. It's a fantastic movie, and it's a lot of hyper focus on Chris Evans as Cap. And while he's not my overall favorite character in comics or whatever, I love Chris Evans as Captain America. He is my Captain America. That movie is fucking great. I love the espionage. I love all the spy stuff. Everything that's going on in that movie. Now, even though he's not going to be really involved in this, it still kind of feels like that to some degree. Like, I feel like, because here's the things we don't really know what's going to happen right now. Originally, after some of the events during the MCU, both Falcon and Winter Soldier were kind of at odds with the government. They were fugitives. They didn't follow kind of Tony Stark on the side of, choosing the Civil Wars, the Sokovia Accords, etc. So, and Winter Soldier definitely did a lot of bad stuff. Clearly it wasn't his fault. He was under mind control, but regardless, here we are. Cap passed that, because, listen, we all want Bucky at some point to get that shield. That kind of follows a lot of things that we've seen and been down that road before. But it makes sense right now to have somebody like Falcon who doesn't have kind of the red in his ledger right out the gates, so bad or whatever, to pass it on to somebody who's already kind of willing. Because until Bucky is, mentally stable, that's not really something you would probably want to do. So Cap hands it off to Falcon. Plus, the Falcon run as Captain America was pretty dope and very underrated, and I think it's really awesome to have him kind of in the forefront right now as the MCU as Captain America. So I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about the show because I think it's going to have a lot of that, like I said, that Winter Soldier field. We got Baron Zemo back, which he's finally going to don that purple mask we've been talking about. Yep. So we start diving deep, like, okay, where are they going to be? Like, who are they operating for? Because if clearly if the government's got U.S. agent to kind of come in as be their Captain America, so does that mean that they're still at odds with the government? How is that going to play out?
Right.
What's Baron Zemo doing still to play? Is he playing sides or what's he, we don't know any of this stuff. I don't think there's a lot out there that we do know on where the story's going to go. We do know there's that faction out there, with the girl that played Memphis Nest in Solo movie. She's got the mask in the hand on the Crusher thing, which is kind of based off a little bit more of an obscure character from the comics as well too in some of these storylines. And they might have kind of turned her into that character or that group into that character. But again, bottom line, really excited because I don't have any idea where this story is going to go. I really don't. I can't hypothesize about anything because it could really go anywhere because we don't know where their standing is in the MCU right now, post-Endgame.
No, I'm excited for it because obviously Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan, those guys are awesome. Like these guys are going to kind of move into the upper echelon of the Marvel universe. I mean, these are going to be like the new bigwigs, so to speak. Obviously you still have Thor about, and you still got Wanda and Doctor Strange, but these guys are going to be graduating to like that upper tier. But I'm excited for this because obviously WandaVision was a much, I don't want to say it was slower pace, but it wasn't quite. Not a whole lot of action with the exception of the final episodes or whatnot. I'm excited about this because I want to see the action. The trailers have done a good job of building up. This is going to be more action-oriented, but I still want that Winter Soldier like storyline, a little espionage, a spy thriller feel to it. I don't care if they're ramping up the action. Obviously, these two characters, they're very gung-ho. They make a lot of noise, but at the same time, you can still have it be an intelligent story, thought-provoking, and set up make references to everything that's happened prior, set up the table for what's coming up with Phase 4.
Right.
There's a lot of responsibility here and big shoes to follow. Somebody mentioned that earlier. These are big shoes to follow after WandaVision. I understand when you watch a trailer, you're thinking it's more action. Hopefully, it's not dumbed down. I still want that spy thriller thinking logic to
Right,
it.
and I think that's kind of the thing, and like we got to be really careful sometimes. I know it's big shoes to fill. I understand, but like at some point we have to step back and realize that a lot of these properties, while they live in the same world, they're so
Much
different.
Okay,
They really are. Yes, we want more action. We want more. Are there going to be any cameos in this? We got kind of a random cameo in the last one.
right.
This one has the real door that could open to like for some real cameos though, like actual people. Like, will we see Chris Evans? I doubt it, but could we?
Right.
We could. We don't know. This is, like you said, it's a lot of big shoes to fill, but I look at it more big shoes to fill, not because of WandaVision, but because of who they're following. This isn't Tony Stark. This isn't Captain America. This isn't Chris Evans. This isn't Robert Downey Jr. So, yeah, there are big shoes to fill, but I think from a different standpoint.
Right.
And how is this going to shape the Avengers? This has to be some part of shaping the Avengers at some point still as well, too. But, again, we don't really know any of the story. Like, WandaVision clearly was, a lot of smoke and mirrors, and Disney's pretty good about that, and don't get me wrong. It's just with this one, it's kind of like you knew WandaVision was going to dive into her mysticism and, like, the multiverse and different stuff. This one, we really just can't – you can hypothesize, but you don't know where they're going to want to take it.
Mm-hmm. And Josh says, I think Feige wants to keep the Disney series kind of on their own, so you don't need to watch them to understand the new movies.
Actually,
I would sort of disagree with that simply because of how many subscribers they have now.
Well, not only that, but
first of all, didn't they just hit 100 million subscribers?
Yeah, like 3 years earlier than they intended.
100 million subscribers. You're no longer niche.
Mm-hmm.
This is no longer a small audience that's only going to understand the small references. Oh, I watched this. It's not like this is a huge. These are Marvel movie fans that want more context. They want more stories. I just think. I understand he said that, and I get that, but at the same time, the expectation is there, dude. You have 100 million subscribers. These are fans of the movies. They are expecting this all to connect. I don't think this is like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. sort of thing. This is all directly connected because people are paying for this. This is huge.
And not only that, but here's where I'm actually going to disagree, Jay Hill. And if he said that, I'm surprised that he said that because I thought he said the opposite, actually. Because if we remember correctly, when they announced Doctor Strange 2 and kind of WandaVision, they said basically like, if you don't watch WandaVision, you're going to kind of not know what's going on partly in Doctor Strange 2.
Yep.
So Jeff Loeb, who had a big hand and was the main guy involved on the TV side on ABC with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and then even the Netflix series of Luke Cage and Daredevil and all that stuff, those things recognize the MCU, but they weren't technically ever part of the MCU because either Kevin Feige and Jeff Loeb didn't get along, and that's usually the...
I don't think that's the case here. I think this is directly connected.
Because Kevin Feige has his hand in this. Because now this is on Disney Plus and the TV, and the actual the streaming service... Mm-hmm. He has now the wheel on this. Not Jeff Loeb isn't involved in this stuff, so this stuff is all intertwined, and interconnected. So we're gonna have actual, true name dropping, recognition, and cameos probably at some point. Like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had what's her name, Jamie Alexander 1 or 2 times in the show, and Samuel L. Jackson once, and then what's her name that plays Mariah Hill. One time in it.
Colby Smulders.
And this is all like in the first fucking season or something like that,
right.
And then it was never again. In like Jessica Jones, they say, they mentioned the green guy one time, something like that. Right. Or they mentioned the blah, blah, blah. They call it different. So, no, I think this is different. I think this is unlike when you go and watch, and spoiler alert, if you watch all of the Solo movie and at the end Darth Maul shows up and people are sitting in the theater going, oh, Darth Maul died like 20 years ago. Well, if you didn't watch cartoons, you kind of didn't know that, right? So I think this is supposed to be different. They are supposed to, if you want to be a moviegoer and go see these movies, yes, you could miss these, but you're going to miss out on some real deep cuts and some plot points. And I think that's kind of the point because Disney doesn't want you to go, here's my movie ticket, I'm going to sit and watch this movie. They also want you to say, I'm going to go home and make sure I catch up on this beforehand so I'm caught up. They want your $8 as well, too.
Yeah, I think, I think that's a great point, too. I mean, they want to keep people invested in Disney+. I think at that point, to sell them, you can be like, look, if you want to understand what's going on here, some context, that you want some real context, you're going to want to watch these shows. This must be a quote right here. After Endgame thinking, what can we do next? Disney Plus is going to give us this opportunity to tell even deeper stories with characters you already know and love in a new type of cinematic way that we haven't done before. We've already started shooting 2 of them, and they're very, very special. And and it all for the first time will interlink.
This is the quote.
So
then.
the MCU will be on your TV screen at home at Disney Plus and interconnect with the movies and go back and forth. See, boom,
that
this
was
is
the
different.
difference.
This is different.
Because
This
he's
will
got the
be
keys now.
an integral part of these stories
Yeah,
going forward.
and that's exciting because for like a lot of comic fans, and like, listen, I'm clearly a fan of the comics. I'm not as deep as some of the other folk would be out there, but I'm a little bit more aware than most, and this is why it's exciting because, again, and I'll say this, and it goes with the Star Wars properties too, you can tell a better story in 8 episodes than you can in a 2.5-hour movie. That's just the reality to me. You get better character development, and that's why WandaVision was so good. Wanda and Vision in the movies, while Vision was an integral part of that story, and Wanda, when you kind of look at it, when you revisit that, kind of is to some degree too, you don't realize that until you see WandaVision and have to go through 9-10 weeks of watching all that stuff. And it's the same way with like Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie. These are great. Like, these two are like, they're mostly known for the MCU, but they're like really good actors. Like, you're looking at fucking Papa Doc from 8 Mile over there, for fuck's sakes, right?
Yeah.
These are great actors, and now you're really going to get to see them like do some acting, and that's very exciting. Sebastian Stan loves that he's in the MCU, loves that he's Bucky, and loves that he's potentially going to get that shield someday. Yeah. That's the kind of guy you want involved, and that's the kind of guy that they need to explore.
Yeah. No, I think this is cool, and I love the fact that this is starting to be an important part, because that was always the hardest part about watching these movies, is waiting months at a time for the next movie to come out,
or a year,
or a year, and you would have all that time. Now you're going to have that filler, and it's not just like throwaway stuff. This is integral stuff that's going to have a huge part. It's a brilliant fucking system, and it's going to make people be like, I don't want to miss it. It's going to create that FOMO effect. I don't want a fear of missing out. I don't want to miss this stuff because it's going to be a huge part of Doctor Strange going forward. I want to pay that money. I want to get, and that allows it to kind of fill it in. If you go weekly, it kind of keeps people interested until Black Widow hits in May.
Prime says a constant drip from the MCU.
I mean, that's what they're doing.
That's
what they're doing, and that makes Disney Plus absolutely a fucking must for fans of what is really right now the biggest IP in the world.
Yeah, if you want to see the next MCU movie, let's say it's Thor, right? And let's say theoretically they had like a 6-part series, of like Lady Sif that kind of leads into Thor. You would have to want to watch that before you go see that,
right?
And Disney, like, don't get me wrong, Disney at the end of the day wants your cheddar.
But Disney's doing a great job of making it. It worth it. It makes it value.
There you go.
Yep,
that's it. The end. I'm excited about it. More MCU for my family and me, and more Star Wars for my family and me. And I'm a Disney fanboy, and I say it out loud. Like,
the reason I want the espionage side of things is because I want to have that conversation during the week leading up to the next episode, kind of what we had with WandaVision. With WandaVision, it was mystery. It was like, what is going on? What's going on behind the veil? What's all this?
Absolutely.
With this action-oriented stuff, that's cool. I want it. I love the action. These characters are built for action, but I want to be able to have. I want to have those conversations after each episode going from an espionage
Well, it's important
perspective.
because it's almost like you run an awesome show on Twitch that can talk about that content too.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Jimmy Z says, Disney Plus is probably the only streaming service we can't live without now. 3 young kids plus shows for mom and dad. Oh, my kids fucking watch Disney Plus every day.
I keep saying, like, if I had to cut
gun
down
to your head, you had to pick 2 out of all the
HBO and Disney
streaming
Plus, easy.
That's all I would do.
HBO and Disney Plus. Easy.
HBO and Disney Plus. Netflix would make a case probably, but for the most part, it'd be HBO and Disney Plus.
Netflix would be really hard to give up.
It would be very difficult
because I'd need some sort of anime. But
Jay Hill got rid of Netflix. He said, "Fuck it."
Oh man.
Loki drops on June 11th.
There it is. So June. I was off a month.
Which will be probably pretty much on par with what we saw with WandaVision. I mean, we're going once every
March.
week.
Well, we're gonna have some
10
time
episodes. 10 episodes. Now it's the end of March, or it's mid-March. So 2 weeks in March. 4 weeks in April, that's 6. You get through May, that's 5 more episodes, that's 10 episodes. We're going to get all this is going to run right into Loki. It's going to run right into Loki.
Erect.
They're fucking doing it right. Falcon is a shorter series. Ooh.
So not 10. You wrong, bitch.
Still, give me kind of close.
Black Widow's going to be in there.
Black Widow, May 7th. There you go.
Only theaters, though.
Only theaters until they realize it's a total fucking bomb and they can't make the money back. So make, hey, $30. Buy it on Disney Plus. And you know what? Take my money.
Take my money. I've been waiting on that fucking movie for so long.
I don't give a shit. I want to see that bad.
Yep. Excited. Everybody watch Friday. Let's talk about it next week.
We'll talk about it next week for sure.
That first episode.
Next Wednesday we'll talk about it. All right, moving on to some gaming news. We have some big news this week, some interesting news, and we're going to hit that up first. We're going to talk some Game Pass. 6 episodes. Woo! 6 episodes? So 2 weeks in March. We have 3 weeks in March.
Then they all better be fucking 40-some minutes, god damn it.
6 episodes. What does that lead up to? So we got what's this Friday? The 19th? The 19th, 26th. That's 2. Okay, and then everything after that is April. That's going to lead right up to Black Widow. It's going to lead up to Black Widow. Because you're going to have 2 weeks in March.
There's no way they're not going to announce
April.
it's going to be on streaming service as well, too.
Yeah. Is going
yeah, man, we're actually, it's funny you say that. We've actually said that a couple weeks ago. I'm like, man, all the Netflix content, all the HBO content, all the Disney Plus content.
Like next week, we're gonna have this. We're gonna have Justice League Snyder Cut.
Yeah, Snyder Cut.
We're gonna have a lot of shit to talk about next week.
But ready.
Anyways, let's get on with Game Pass. Xbox is just on a fucking roll right now. They're on a roll right now.
Yeah.
And obviously we had the Bethesda stuff last week. Everything was confirmed, official, good to go. And then this week they announced their newest titles coming to Game Pass. And the first one they mentioned was Outriders. Now this is different, you guys. This is different than any of the Xbox first-party stuff. This is a major third-party game. Price. Brand new third-party game. Coming to Xbox Game Pass. Day one.
What the fuck?
April 1st. Outriders. It got to the point where everyone was like, shit, I pre-ordered it. Xbox was like, hey, man, here's how you get your refund back. It's going to be in Game Pass. This is huge.
This is the big step moves. We've been talking about this for months, about the moves that Xbox is doing for the future of their software and gaming.
Yep.
That's a big win.
That's a huge win because you have Outriders demo was dope. I liked what I played of Outriders in the demo.
Right.
I liked it, but I have concerns with the end game stuff.
We're
I have
not
concerns.
sold, but hey, we like free.
I like free. Well, I mean, I was like, well, it's not free. You pay for the service. Yeah, whatever.
Well, I'm good till 2022.
Yeah, so it's free.
Free.
No, I'm excited to play. And you and I, after we played the demo, I was like, man, I don't know if I should pre-order this right now.
We've hemmed and hawed about a lot of this.
Yeah, because we were playing on PlayStation 5. I was like, I don't know if I should, pre-order this.
We've been down this road. We want to get too deep in it, but we've been down the looter shooters, the live services.
Even though this isn't a live service,
well,
we kind of built
it's
like
not,
one, to a degree, but not fully.
But we see the forest for the trees in these ones.
But this, when you think about this, it's a third-party title. It's Square Enix.
I'm a big fan of Square Enix.
That's wild,
personally.
man. I mean, Square Enix has always kind of been in bed with Sony for a lot of stuff. But for them to reach out to Square Enix and say, hey, look, let's put Outriders on Game Pass. Here's a check. Thank you very much. Now, if Outriders launches and it's a total fucking dud and it's a terrible game, it loses its luster immediately.
Right.
But maybe I don't think Xbox would do it. I don't think Xbox would be like, hey, here's a bunch of money. Let's put it on here, and it's a stinker. They must know something about it, or at least they're confident in it. They're confident in what they're hearing.
Well, I think it's kind of and I don't want to dive deep in this, but it's the ecosystem, right? To me, I personally associate Xbox more with westernized third-party shooters and looter shooters kind of thing, like a Fallout or something, more than maybe I'd say like something like PlayStation. So I kind of can see that I feel like it's going to fit well in their ecosystem. So it's a good get.
And that's a huge selling point, though. I mean, that's really good because, look, I can either play Outriders, and I'm not saying, look, Outriders is not a system seller. No. Based on what I played from the download, this thing is not going to move consoles. Game Pass will always be the big selling point. And, but the fact that this is coming day one to Game Pass is such a big step for Game Pass itself. You will now have a major third-party game, full price game that if you want to play on PlayStation 5 or PC, because it's not a part of the Game Pass on PC, it is just strictly console, pay $60 for this game.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going to be really interesting is it's cross-play. So you're going to have people playing this on Xbox, and if they jump into matchmaking and you're playing with somebody in PC and PS5, and they're like, oh my God, this game is awesome. Like, I didn't have to pay for it. It was part of Game Pass.
Right.
I mean, that's just... It's pretty rad. It's pretty rad. And again, whether or not this game turns out to be, amazing, we have no idea. Like I said, I have reservations, but I think it's a good game. But I just love the fact that I don't have to pay for it now.
We have reservations because we're probably a little bit more critical on games than most folks.
A little critical because we have expectations. We know what we want from certain types of games. So we'll Game Pass. So Game Pass will run on basically everything except PlayStation 4 and PS5. I mean, we don't even know if it's coming to Switch. Everyone says it's coming to Switch, but at the end of the day, we have no idea. It's a safer bet than PlayStation,
right? But Nintendo also
but
don't
at the
play
same
nice with
time,
everybody
like
either.
unless it's coming to Game Pass via xCloud. Look, Halo Infinite and Outriders and this shit is not going to run on Switch unless it's dumbed down fucking horrible. That's the one thing everyone forgets. Like, oh, Game Pass is going to come to Switch. None of these fucking games are going to run good on Switch.
Right.
They're going to run like shit for the most part. I mean, you look at Apex. Everyone's like, oh, Apex is here. But then you look at all the details from the people who play Apex on consoles and PC, and like, man, this thing is trash. These games, yes, if Game Pass comes to Switch, it'll only be valuable if it runs through cloud. We've seen cloud works on Switch with the Control version that was running on cloud. xCloud has to come to Switch in order for Game Pass to come to Switch.
Correct.
There's no fucking way any of these games will even work properly well on Switch. It's just not going to happen. But it'd have to be through cloud. That's how it makes its way to Game
Absolutely.
Pass. And that's, I don't know if, I'm sure Nintendo would be all for it. They seem to be more chummy about stuff. Do people actually play on Switch for as much as you shit on Figure? No, oh, dude, don't. I just shit on Switch for the third-party ports. Don't make no mistake. Switch is a fucking awesome system. There's a lot of great games on it, and it sells more. It's outselling all the other consoles. It's a great system
because they have them.
right. xCloud on Switch for sure. That's the only way they get Game Pass on the Switch.
Yeah.
And xCloud.
And it would be cool if they did. That's all I mean. That
oh,
would be cool,
I'd be all
right?
for it. If I
Yeah.
can sit there and take my fucking Switch on the road and I can play
Yeah.
any of these games, dope.
It's
That's
better
cool.
than playing on a
I'm a
fucking
fan
phone.
of cloud gaming. I'm a fan of cloud gaming. After playing on Stadia,
Yeah, I know.
I know Stadia's got a bad rep, and they made some weird moves recently. But I know streaming is legitimate. Streaming games is legitimate, and if they can get that running on the Switch, and it runs good, fuck yeah,
Fuck
dude.
yeah, dude.
But I mean, whether or not Sony would open up to having Game Pass or even xCloud on the PS5, I have no idea, dude. Sony's really weird with that kind of shit. It took fucking forever for them to agree to do crossplay.
Yeah. Well, what the?
There is rumors about a new Switch that'll be 4K and stuff like that.
However, you can't even get PS5s and Xboxes and parts of GM fixed because of either metal or chips right now. So announcing a new Switch probably isn't the best thing to have in your hand right now either. Because guess what? They ain't gonna be able to build a whole lot of them.
That's
And if there's,
valid point.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Nintendo loves the allure that they serve. They give you a premium product that nobody else can get, kind of like Apple to some degree. But they still literally wouldn't be able to put them out in the market either very easily.
Nap God says Sony needs to play ball, and I agree with that to an extent. Yes, Sony needed to play ball with crossplay. I feel like that stuff was really important. Cross save, cross progression. Yes, they absolutely do not have to put a Game Pass on their system. They don't. They don't. Sony is like, I saw so many people tweeting out that PlayStation's dead with the Bethesda deal and this and that. No, they're not. PlayStation is not just going to roll over and be done. They have their own set of first-party stuff. And no, I don't agree with some of their handling and stuff and the way they put up a fight over crossplay. But they don't need to have Game Pass on their stuff. I mean, for people who only own a PlayStation, sure, I can understand the appeal of it. But I just don't feel like it's a necessity. Would I like to see them open up to it? Sure, but I understand also from a business perspective, they don't really need to. They don't need to. Not with their first-party studios.
If every time you're putting out first-party games, which they pump out a lot of them, and they're rated like 8.5s and above.
Yeah. They literally don't need to do anything. But it would be cool if they did. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but
be a lot cooler if you did.
But overall, I mean, this was really cool. But then that was Monday. Outriders coming to Game Pass, fucking nuts.
Yeah, that was the other one is the one that's the most surprising.
Here's
to me.
what else happened on Tuesday.
This is the one, Octopath.
These are the new games coming to Game Pass over the next couple of weeks.
That one
standout titles, bottom left corner, Octopath Traveler, which has been on PC for a little while. I believe it's been on Steam for a little bit.
A little about year and a half.
Has it been on? Yeah. It's been on there for a while.
Yeah.
But this is going to make its non-Switch console debut on Xbox. Octopath Traveler. You've played this.
Awesome.
Amazing RPG. Available, I believe it's March 25th, is coming to Xbox. I'm going to pick it up on Xbox. I liked it on the Switch. I want to play it on Xbox. I want to play it on a big screen. I want
to see what that looks like on a 4K.
I want to see how it looks really, really good on this. Yeah, and somebody mentioned Star Wars Squadrons. Yes, that's because EA Play is now moved in with Game Pass. So now Squadrons is going to be moved in. That's going to be available as well. The entire Yakuza collection, with not including Like a Dragon, will now be a part of Game Pass. Yakuza 6 will be moving in. Undertale, one of the most highly praised RPGs of last gen, is coming to Game Pass. And you see there's other titles on there. Some of those are on PC only. That's Nier Automata, and is it Pillars or whatever that is? I can't read. It's my vision is gone. But great selection of Game Pass games. But the standouts here are obviously Outriders, Undertale, Octopath Traveler, and Squadrons. This is fucking nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Game Pass, like, look, everyone trashes Games with Gold because typically those games are shit every month. I don't know why they still do Games with Gold. I really have no idea why they do.
Need to force everybody into
but
Game Pass.
Game Pass is, and I will say it, and I have no problem saying this, Game Pass is the absolute best value in gaming right now on any platform, by far. Don't get me wrong, the PlayStation Plus games every month have been solid for like the last 6 months.
Getting those free games for your subscription is great. This is way different.
This is a fucking wild.
Whole
dude.
other, yep, really awesome.
This is really, really good. So Game Pass continues to impress. Microsoft continues to make big moves with Game Pass. And honestly, man, if you have an Xbox, or if you have a mobile phone that does xCloud, or if you have a TV that you can do xCloud on, if you don't have fucking Game Pass, you're doing it wrong. End of story.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have Game Pass. It's the best way to do things. It's the only way to do things.
Yeah.
And they're just absolutely... Xbox is on a roll. Now, PlayStation had a nice day today. They announced a bunch of stay-at-home games. Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition will be available next month. They have about 10 games that are going to be available free starting tomorrow, I believe it is.
Stuff.
Yeah, some indie stuff, some PSVR games. There's a nice selection of games. And then next month, you'll be able to get Horizon Zero Dawn. They also showed off, I think, 7 indie titles as well that will be coming out over the course of the year. That one that you and I looked at, the co-op game, I can't remember, the name escapes me, but that looked really, really good. There's some really cool games coming out on PlayStation with the indies. So, I mean, PlayStation is slowly starting to show some of their cards and kind of build up a little hype. Right now, gaming is in a great space. Game Pass giving out a lot of great games. PlayStation giving out games for free. You don't even need to have PlayStation Plus for those stay-at-home games. They are just free. You will be able to get Horizon Zero Dawn for free without paying for anything. You don't have to have a subscription or anything.
It's one of the best fucking games come out last gen, too.
Now, I wonder, though, it comes out April 19th. Will we see a PS5 optimized version? The game's on PC.
Has to be.
Get me the PS5 version at 60 frames.
Don't waste our time. Give it an upgrade.
That'd be really, really
Get
dope.
an upgrade out there.
And moving on now to the final topic, something that dropped this week. Now, this game was announced, I think, last year, but it was just an announcement. But we got to see a new gameplay trailer with some gameplay in it for a game that you're really excited about for multiple reasons. And if Seven Dungeons is in here, I know he's excited as well. Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance. We do know that this will be coming out on June 22nd.
Day one purchase for Tone.
PlayStation, Xbox, PC. This is a co-op action RPG from the developers 2K Games. You will get to play as 4 legendary characters.
The champions of the hall.
Who are we playing? Who are your options to play as?
Dritz du Erden of House du Erden, 8th House of Menzo Berenzan.
Oh my.
Katie Bree, Brunar Battlehammer, her sub-father, he's a dwarf, and Wolfgar, the barbarian.
Oh my Lanta.
With the one and only mystical Warhammer, Aegeus Fang. Tempest!
Man, he's jacked.
Very excited. Those characters are based off of a set of novels that are 30-plus deep. My favorite author of all time. Met him twice. He's an amazing man. Fighting everybody on Facebook over silly stuff because he's the shit. Very excited. And the old games, that you could play these as well, too. You could, I think one of the first or second one, you could actually put in a code to play Dritz as at 1.2, and he was a badass, too. He's basically a whirlwind of scimitars. Yes, finally, after so many years, I mean, we're getting the actual, like, isometric style Baldur's Gate at some point in the near future. But this is more of that kind of Diablo-esque or Champions of Norath feel, loot grinding, dungeon crawling kind of game. Very cool. I'm really hoping that these characters and these classes really feel unique, and very honestly, D&D's been, Wizards of the Coast has done a great job over the last decade evolving D&D into so much more into the mainstream, and not just with the tabletop gaming, like all their apps, all their games, whether it be analog tabletop, whether it be on a phone or whatever, in some form of game. It's very exciting to finally have this back, and they're looking for the shard, the Crystal Shard, which is also based off of one of the books. And how this fits in the timeline, I'm gonna have to look into, because the Crystal Shard is actually the true original second or third book in that series that came out in like the early 90s. Like, these books have been coming out since the early 90s, maybe even late 80s for the actual Icewind Dale trilogy. So these characters are well known and well beloved in certain circles that not everybody may be familiar with. But there's chances that at this point in your life you've seen Drizzt on something. He's a drow dark elf, long white hair, green outfit, usually a panther next to him, and Twinkle and Icing Death as two scimitars next to him as well too. So very excited.
Very excited. The game focuses main focus is on combat. There are over 50 combat abilities per character to master.
That's fucking
so there is a lot
wild
to do. That so that tells you it's going to be a grindy game. It's an RPG. You're ranking up your abilities. The combat system caters to all types of players. Button mashers can get in there. I can do my thing, mash buttons. But if you want to get down to it, obviously this is meant to be played cooperatively. I believe you can play it single player. I don't know if you'll have AI controlling the other characters or if you're just going to be going solo. It sounds like this is a game where you can get overwhelmed rather quickly. So it would probably be best to play cooperatively. Somebody asked about crossplay. I don't know yet. I don't know if that's been announced. It's possible. It would make sense. Hopefully they would have crossplay. But if you're not a button masher and you want to play more skilled with your friends, there's all sorts of things like specific guard breaks, executions, team attacks for the more like strategy centric folks that want to get into it that way. Power progression is entirely up to the players, allowing you to choose which order to play the missions. So you'll be able to hop in there and be like, okay, look, this is my favorite mission. I want to go play this one, or you're going up against this like legendary villain. I want to go up against this guy. And stuff like that. Exploration is encouraged in these maps. Sometimes you might find secret rooms or puzzles throughout the missions, so you're going to want to keep looking out for stuff. That's pretty fucking rad. Each mission has challenge ratings. So you'll be able to change the difficulty levels to it, which will
better drops at that point,
better
right?
drops, better loot, all that jazz. And there's going to be over 30 different enemy types. Obviously, they broke down goblins on the PlayStation blog post, but there's going to be over 30 different enemy types in this game. So with challenge cards, is it going to be crossplay? It should no longer be a question at this point. Not having it is just a sin. I agree with that.
I very much agree with that.
With the big three opened up to it now, and even on PC, so you got all four ecosystems that can play together. You would think at this point it should be kind of a given. But no, dude, this sounds like a very grindy game. IGN actually has a video up right now where I think they play it for about 16 minutes. They go into depth about the combat. They break down a lot of the different classes that these characters represent. So it's a really interesting video. We couldn't put that up because I really don't feel like getting fucking docked by IGN. But it's a really good video, so make sure you check that out. But Tone, man, I mean, we're excited for this. Co-op, play with up to 3 other friends, go through the entire campaign, change the difficulty, keep grinding for better loot.
Dude,
that's dope.
If he's got 40 novels out at this point, I own half or more of these novels. I'm a little bit behind over time in the last decade, but like I talk D&D more now without playing it, oddly enough, right now than I have in probably a whole decade, because of Drastin, 70 Dungeons. This is, like I said, these are my favorite novels. These characters are some of my most favorite. This is the character of Drizzt Do'Urden was the reason, instead of like on a Friday night when I was in high school or junior high, I'd be like, hey, friends are going out, we're going to have a campfire. Want to do something? And be like, no, I'm just going to stay home. And I was literally reading like, the Crystal Shard or something like that. So I'm very hyped that they're doing something like this. It's very exciting. So I'm day one purchase. I don't know if I'm going to get physical or digital. That's my only conundrum right now.
Jimmy Z said, notice it's $40 for the standard edition, $60 for the deluxe edition.
They're lucky it's not a collector's edition.
That'd be a no-brainer, right?
Yeah,
Imagine getting all the statues of all the characters.
I'm just saying, like Jesus fucking. I mean, I just bought Drit's swords, which I haven't done a personal stream recently. I was going to show Drit's swords 1v1 scale. Kronos bought them as well too. I mean, they're scaled to his scimitars. I just bought them. They're
That's fucking dope.
Yeah, because I'm a fucking nerd.
Digital, get down. I'll be getting the deluxe version. I always have to. So
yep.
But no, it was a cool trailer. It looked fun. It looked like a good time. The studio is very passionate about D&D, so that was good to read. They have a nice blog post on PlayStation Blog, and where they kind of delve into why they took on this job and why they took on this game. They all sound very passionate about D&D, so that's a huge part of knowing that they're going to be very respectful of the source material. Yeah. So should be really, really, really exciting. So we'll be definitely checking that out when it comes out. Just a heads up, the Detroit Lions put out a 10-minute thank you video for Matthew Stafford on Twitter. Ooh, I'll watch that. I hope Stafford
wins the title,
of
respect for Matt Stafford. Hope the best for him. Fuck the Ford family. Fuck the Lions. Matt Stafford, I really, really hope that you can go somewhere and get a ring. You deserve it, buddy.
Get that W, son. Get that ring. You put up with enough shit here. Yep. You've earned it.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you get a championship, dude. I really do. Fords are the absolute worst. Couldn't agree more. But Tone?
Yeah.
That's going to do it for this week's show, man.
Already?
I know.
I got to pee.
I know you do. I kind of got to go pee, too. I'm already starting to slur because the shot really kind of fucked things up. I am not crossing the streams with you, man. No way.
We can just move the little...
Gross. No, my dad taught me that. I don't want a sword fight. It's more like a club versus a pocket knife. It's like a mace versus a pocket knife. Yeah, I said that shit. Anyways.
That's a lie.
Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. We had multiple files, multiple subs, bits galore. You guys are amazing.
Thank you for all the support, yo.
Yeah, it's seriously so fucking awesome having you here. Big shout out to Jay Hill and Atomic for calling in and being a part of the discussion, sharing their thoughts on Boss Level. If you're a subscriber to the channel and you're in Discord, make sure you link your Twitch channel. We want to get you in on the conversation. If there's a topic that you want to talk about, we want you here. We want you here bad. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear different perspectives. That's why we're doing it. We do this because we want to get you guys and girls involved. And it means the world when you decide, hey, look, I'm going to call in and share my thoughts. Right there's the Discord. Thank you, Mr. Cuddles. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, brother.
But that's going to do it for tonight's show. Fanboytone. I'm TheDude79. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Next weekend, we're going to be talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut. What else are we going to talk about? Is there any other movies? We'll look it up. We're too fucking drunk to think about it. Make sure you're in the Discord. We'll post it there.
What month is it?
March.
Oh, I don't know.
Dumbass. We'll make sure we post in the Discord and on social media what we're going to be watching this weekend and what we'll be talking about next week so you can get caught up. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. See you next Wednesday.
Oh, hi, Mark. Good seeing you, buddy.
Oh, hi, March.